that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. I'm coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne. So you wanna be my enemy? You should've known I'd never kiss the rain. Ice runs in my veins, won't play it safe. I don't belong with your nobility. Who died and made you king of anything? You think that I'm insane? It's your mistake. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it, I've come to take it. Kingdoms rise and fall, I've come to take it all. I'll take it all. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the. Coming for the throne. I'm coming for the throne.
Will Stewart here with another late night THFC rant show. I had to spray a bit of the legend on me because of Son Heung-min's performance today. What's going on, guys? 5-2 away to Burnley. Boston. Sun haters, where you at? Sun haters, where you at? Right? A lot of people are using the I said he should have played up the middle as an excuse to cover the fact that they said he was done, that he's lost pace, which we already dispelled was a myth before, that he didn't have it anymore. Well, Son Heung-min with that performance today now becomes the 10th most hat tricks in Premier League history by a single player. It's true. It's true. It's true. And you know, it's good to be right a lot of the times. And you know, it's not about necessarily being right. It's about simply just having an open mind and actually looking at data rather than having baseless, contradictory biases. And you know, it's just funny how a lot of the times people, when things go the opposite way of what they thought, when they jump on a bandwagon of misinformation, it's amazing how quickly people change their positions. You ever notice that how I never change my position? And when I do change my position after a long amount of time or evidence, I tend to end up being right in the long run. And I usually change it after a long period of time. In pressure, from pressure. But you know, hey, what can you say about today's game? And I want people, if you haven't watched the watch along today, go back and watch the watch along a little bit, and you can listen to some of my commentary, and you can even see in mid-match, once I check the numbers, about Manor Solomon's performance on the day. Although in the first half, he only had one key pass and all that stuff in the first half. So his first half performance, I think, was better, but he got a lot better in the second half. And I want people to think about it rationally about Manor Solomon's performance today. So I've watched a lot of the different streams, you know, to get people's takes, to get the backtracks, to get the walkbacks, to get the tail between the legs. And, you know, it's amazing. It's amazing, I think, how many people said Manor Solomon was amazing today. And they said Manor Solomon was amazing because he had 2 assists. Well, obviously, you got Son's clinical finishing, right? 3 shots on target, 3 goals, right? Nobody can deny that. Son Heung-min had 3 shots on target today, 5 shots in total, 2 of which were blocked. So 3 shots, 3 goals. Manor Solomon created 5 key passes today. And every pass that he made to Heung-min's Son, the Son shot, Son scored. Now, in the same 2 performances you have last week in the league and the week before that in the league against Bournemouth and Manchester United, Son Heung-min created 4 key passes per game. He set up Madison that had a one-on-one with the keeper. He set up Udogie one-on-one with the keeper. Multiple passes into Richarlison, and they never got finished. So where do you come off as a football fan to say that Son Heung-min hasn't been good in the previous matches this season playing on the left. When consistently he has had the most shot-creating actions, the most key passes in every performance in the past 2 matches before this one, and not say he was great also. Right? Because what's the difference? That Son was on the end of Manor Solomon's passes and Richarlison was on the end of Son's? Is that Son's fault when he makes those passes, when he creates those opportunities, when he creates those big chances? I'm just saying. Just saying, if you're going to say one player had an amazing game, you got to say they both have had. Right? You got to go now, walk back. If you're saying that Manor Solomon today, because he happened to be beneficiary of Son's clinicalness in front of goal, which we all know he has, do you not then have to go back, retract your statements of saying Son's played bad against Manchester United, or played average, or he's off it, he's not into it, he's not doing any of these things? Right? If you're an honest person, do you not have to go back and do that? I'm just saying, right? If you're you got to call a spade, right? A spade can't be a spade today and a diamond tomorrow. You know? I'm just saying, man. That's all I'm saying, right? Big up all of the people, especially a lot of the subscribers and supporters on this channel who have stood by Son through the good times, through the bad times, through all of those things. The people who listened to logic, who listened to reason, and were able to distinguish between a person maybe having a struggle or statistical struggle here and there, and a person being done, right? He's had it. He's past it. He needs to be sold, right? Solomon needs to start over him. Richarlison needs to start over him. Perisic needs to start over him. Like, seriously. Son Heung-min, who season after season after season, and I'm including last season into this, right? Because when you go look at the average goal contributions for a winger in the Premier League, a wide player, Son was in the top 10th percentile even last season. 10 goals, 6 assists in the league, 16 goal contributions, 4 contributions, 20 goals or 14 goals total in the whole league, over 22 goal contributions in total in all competitions. Go find me 10 other left wide players in the Premier League that bettered that last season. Find 10 last season. So I'm not even talking about Golden Boot winning Son, or 17 goals the season before that, or 11, 12 goals the season before that. I'm talking about last season. With Son's goal to shot on target ratio, if he plays striker and gets those amount of opportunities that he got in the second half today, the numbers that this boy's going to put up are just going to be absolutely insane. Insane. That's all I'm saying. But let's start bringing in some people. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. Do make sure you like, subscribe. And look, you guys know me. You guys know me. If you have judged Son too quickly, just walk it back now. I'm going to give you guys a free pass. I'm giving everybody out there who's a public, who puts their opinions out in public, I'm giving you guys a free pass to walk it back. I'm giving you a free pass to walk it back. Do not make me put together a compilation of every single slandery comment that you have said over Son over the past 2.5 years. That's right, 2. Not just last season, the season before that as well. I'll do it. You know I will. Just walk it back now. Everybody gets a free pass before I start posting receipts. Let's bring in the first guest of the night. First guest of the night is coming in. You know him, you love him. part of the Tottenham away crew. The big bad Mama Jamma himself, Murray. Big Poppy's in the house. What's going on, Mr. Poppy?
Good.
They call you Big Papa. What's going on, my man?
Do a lot more dancing this season. Do a lot more dancing. I don't know. Do a lot more dancing.
How have we been? How have you been enjoying enjoying the season so far?
Oh, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. You know, like I said, I would never thought we'd have 10 points out of the first 12. I see what Big Ange is trying to do and what he's trying to implement with the team. And we just got to support and see where he's going. Of course, I was very disappointed in him on Tuesday, but he won't do that again. I hope so. He won't do that again, meaning the FA Cup. But no, I'm just, as we go into the international break,
yeah,
really,
no football for 2 weeks. I'm a little bit bored about that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I got some things planned. But no, I'm excited about that. And I like where we're leaving off in regards to, not to say we don't have problems, we still have issues. And if injuries come, oh, we are screwed. But I'm really happy. Son really had a performance today. And now we can have a direction where he is now on like number 9. He seemed to have a good connection with Solomon today, but Brennan Johnson hopefully will come in. Hopefully Kulu will shake the doldrums and be able to see that, hey, we can score goals, you know, by Harry Kane. And then second thing is, the reason why I'm wearing this is just for those who are hating on Romero. There were many reasons why Romero struggled last season. Some right, some wrong. He apologized. People forgot he apologized in June. And he is now taking that role of vice captain. All the captains scored today. Sonny, Madison, Romero. But now you're seeing the Copa America Romero right now. You see the Atalanta Romero right now. And so I am so happy. And it's only better.
I think it comes down to the partnership that he's got, right? When you're not having to play next to Eric Dyer, you know, maybe things can be a little bit better. But before we got one more guest we're gonna bring in. Before we bring him, I just want to welcome the chat. Forgot to welcome the chat, like I always do. We got Nick Brown in the house, son Aldino. We got Quez, big up Quez, son Perion, Ron. Richie needs to start worming the bench. Ron's a joker. Ron's always been pro Sonny, so that's tongue-in-cheek banter here. Spurs for You's in the house. We got Ryan Mitchell. I don't know what Ryan Mitchell is or who he's doing, what he's saying, but he's trolling in the chat as well. Richardinho. Who we got? We got Sarah X Ace in the house. Big up, man. Suntrick. That's right. We got to rename it. We got Roy as well. Hi all. Have a good show. Come on, you Spurs. Big up, my man. We got Orshman, Rico Polician. Well, I don't know what that means, but J Park, Sensation, Pilsung. That's correct. There's a link there for anybody that wants to join the chat. Sunbloke, 3 a.m. in the London Sphere, home of the Spurs. Big up, Sunbloke, for staying up late with us tonight. We got John Thompson. That sounds like a personal issue. I love Ebony's. Okay. I do too. David's in the house. Sun haters never learn, do they? So much hate for a club legend. Plastic fans. I mean, plastic fans may be going over the top. I think they're just dumb. BT's in the house. Wow. Big up my man. Jamie Get. Big up Will and Ange, bringing pride and passion back to Spurs. Son is a model captain. Yeah, that's another thing too. People are saying that Son's, even people today I heard over on the football terrace, some Spurs fans saying that Son still isn't as good of a captain as Madison. But if you remember, Manor Solomon at halftime. Where are you? We were watching. You were on the watch along with me today. And as the whistle is blew, Son walks up to Manor Solomon, starts talking to him. Ba, 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 ba. First thing they do, come out from the locker room, as he scores 2 goals within the first 15 minutes. Right. So why is James Maddison a better leader than Son if Son went and told Manor Solomon what he needed to know in order to be more effective, because he didn't have a good first half, to be more effective in that second half and immediately go from 1 key pass in the entire first half to 4 additional key passes in the second half and 2 assists? Why does Son not get credit for being a man leader, from going out there and telling players where they should be and what they should do? Why? And this isn't because I love Maddison. I think Maddison is the best signing we've had all summer. I've always rated that. I've been a Maddison fanboy ever since he came to the club. I thought it was a great signing. You've never heard me talk trash about Maddison. So this isn't about how bad Maddison is or that Maddison couldn't be a captain. I think Maddison could be a great captain, but I don't understand why.
I will quickly say this. And for a person who deals a lot with leadership, you know, I am the advisor for the National Honor Society for my students. There are some leaders, right, when you're given a leadership role, I'll use the 3 players, right? You have those who raise their hand and say, hey, I'll step up to be the leader, right? And then you have those who can lead, but given the opportunity, entrusted, and this is what Ange did, entrusted, said, hey, look, Sonny, we want you to be the leader. And they now seize the opportunity and they take that responsibility. And then you have Romero in the sense of just, hey, we know what happened last year. We're giving you that opportunity, and now it's kind of changed.
I don't even think he was bad last year. So I think this is all agenda, right? It's none of it's based on actual numbers. It's all based on people's eyeballs. Right.
So what I'm saying is, so you have 3 different type of opportunities to become a leader, and with Sonny and even me, I would raise my hand. I was just like, okay, I wasn't against it, but I was just kind of like, man, I wish we had some better options for leaders on this team. But so far, he has done a great job, and so there's a lot of misconceptions that people have. And it's just that, okay, when you're on the stage, now you have to prove people wrong. I hate that it has to do that, but it has to come to that. But in life, sometimes you do that. It's happened to me in my life, even in employment, where I'm just like, all right, so you may think this about me. All right, well, you know what? I'm not going to prove you wrong. I'm going to do it for myself. But in that process, they were like, you know what, Mari?
Proving people wrong can be a good motivator for sure.
Yeah. And people will say, you know what? I've had people say, hey, I thought this about such and such, and you proved me wrong. Like, you're awesome at this and this and this. And so I think Son is doing that right now, where people are like, man, yo, we messed up. We see what you're doing. And I'm looking at the pictures of him and Ange today, the hug and stuff like that. It's just like, yo, I can see why he named him captain. I can see why.
Yep, and for sure we got Still Call in the house too. Big up Solomon. Sonny link-up was perfection in the second half. It wasn't perfection in the first half. There were multiple times where Sonny was making those same runs that he made in the second half that led to goals where Solomon didn't find Son. Right? We were talking about this on the watch along. He lagged. He was waiting, taking too long. Wasn't making that pass. Wasn't finding Son in the space that he was occupying in the middle there. But he did end up big up hook, props up for fixing it, right? If you're not playing good in the first half and you come out in the second half and you rock it up, you know, it doesn't take away from your problems you had in the first half, but it definitely makes up for it. And he made up for it in the end. We got Nick Brown. I already think I mentioned Nick Brown once. We got Mama Coates in the house. Big on Mama. That's Will's mama there for people that don't know. We got Addy in the house. Manor Solomon got a lot of error in the game. Yeah, in the first half. Second half, he was pretty solid. Soundboy, big up Soundboy. Could have forgotten those 2 assists, to be fair. That's true. Sideways ball right in the sun in 5 yards of space. Never in doubt. The Poros assist though was quality. That long ball from Poro. Jay Vader in the house. We're at 7. All the Sun disrespecters. Look, I don't know if I'm not gonna mention names on who did it, but they know who they are. Mentioning names isn't necessary. We all know who it is. Gina Kim's in the house. Big up Gina. Long time no see. Even Big Ange was saying Sun is good either top or wide. Exactly. He said he's perfect for this. He's ideal for the system on the left or in the middle. 100%. I watched that as well. David Will with the facts. 100%. Always my man. Always. And the super chat. It's like we are better without Kane in this system. Dude, there is a little bit of a Kane jinx. I'm not going to lie, man. And I've been saying that. This isn't the first time. I didn't say it just this season. I said it last season, and I said it the season before that. Go back and watch. Had the Kane counter all 2 years ago. Zaffer Gunner thanks, Will. That over 9.5 goals this season looks like a lock now. What do you mean for Sun? Of course. Of course. Did I predict not only 9.5 goals? Maybe I did. I don't know. It seems low. I usually say 8 to 12. Who else we got? We haven't bigged up yet. We got Hans Usung Kaja. That means let's win. Let's win. Let's get first place. Let's go. Let's go. We definitely need to try for it. We're in the race for it right now. We'd be dumb to not continue to play like we have a chance. Doesn't mean we need to be irrational and say that it's done. We're title contenders now. No, it's a long, long season. But we'd be dumb to not play like we don't have a chance. Because we're only 2 points back, and we've scored as many goals as they have in the league. And the only thing that got us was that draw against Burnley. Otherwise, we'd be right up there tied with them, even on points. Who else we got? We got Ammon in the house. Solomon 2 assists and Poro 2 wonderful assists for Sun's goals. Sun only scored 3 goals, so I don't know. I think maybe it's a typo. But yep. Yes, Sander here. Fantastic performance today. The whole team was on it. Ange Ball rocks the jocks. Cold shots in the house. Solomon did have 2 assists, but I feel he was very poor that game overall, in my opinion. Just first half. I think he was all right in the second half. I don't remember, although I was pretty tired this morning, so I may have not had the energy in the second half to mud him if I needed to. Missing some regulars in the chat tonight. She's thinking, you mean the Sun haters? They're in hiding. They're in the woods. I got them in my log cabin out in the woods. Sun has proven he's a great leader with social media reaction from players today. All about Sun. Yeah, which there's been a lot of streams that have been saying that Madison was man of the match today, and that's fine. You're just wrong. He played good today. A lot of people played it. In fact, Manor Solomon had a higher SOFA score than Madison did. Right? Nobody's talking about him being man of the match. So it's biases coming in. It's not based on who performed the best or who contributed the most to the win. It's about who you like the most, and that's okay. It can be a popularity contest. It's all good. Who else we got that I haven't said hey up to? Elias Krishan is in the house. Big up. Alejandro Perez. Big up. Frank the Tank. I saw you in the back, man. You're welcome to come back if you're not. We're down to the bottom of the comment list now, so we'll be bringing the guests in. Could you imagine if we had Madison last season? I don't know how Madison would have worked in the Conte system, to be honest with you. I don't think. In fact, I'm almost glad that we didn't bring him in until this, because we were interested, or there were talks about bringing in Madison last year. I think Spurs fans would have been looking at Madison like we're looking at Basuma right now, if we had Tottenham. Let's bring in the next guest. Next guest we got going on over here. Let's just do this. The man with the gold in his backyard. Jason G's in the house. Big up, Jason Groves. You find that gold yet?
No, mate. Fantastic game. Great watch. I have to say this. That doggy is...
Yeah, good player.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and he's just starting off. Like, if he carries on, I don't know that he's going to be with us for like years. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think he's going to be that good.
Oh yeah, I think so too.
But what a game! I mean, it was a great watch. It just was a great watch. Sonny, that first finish. Anyone that says like, "Oh, he's all stressed out and he's overthinking things," and this, no, he just dinked it over that gate.
What?
Yeah.
The first touch into that too, and then without even taking a second touch, you know, to gain control. First touch to control the ball. Second touch was just a dink right over the top, which is harder, by the way, than putting laces through it.
Oh yeah, and it was just calm. It was ice cold calm.
Ice cold.
But I will say this, like, when in previous games, when we've taken Richarlison off and put Sonny through the middle, I don't know statistically, but when you watch the team with Sonny through the middle, we just flow better. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he just he's got a better touch than fucking Richarlison. His 1-2s are better than Richarlison's.
You know what's funny? But you know what's funny about this? You know what's funny about this, right? Is if you remember last year and the year before that, everybody said Son's first touch was horrible. He's got a horrible first touch.
I'll be honest. I'll be straight with you, Will. There was a point where I was one of those people saying that. Like, I was, because there was a point where I don't know, man. To me, it just didn't look like it was sticking to him the way it was now. But look, fuck it. Like, we flow so much better as a team with him through the middle. We just do. And
this is like, these are the comments for me. It's like, okay, so I mentioned this in my monologue right before at the beginning of the show. So Solomon was better than Sonny on the wing. How? Because Son finished Solomon's passes and Richarlison couldn't finish Son's. Because if you look at the production of the key passes, the shot creating actions, all of the things that Solomon did on the wing, dribbles, all of that, Son has done just the same the previous game. So what's the difference between the two? If they did the exact amount of things on the pitch, and the only difference is that Son converted Solomon's assists and the other players didn't convert Son's, how was Solomon so much better than Sonny on the wing?
You know, the one thing that impressed me about Solomon, that I was a bit worried about him, because I haven't really like seen him play that much. He's a lot harder to get off the ball for his size. I was worried that he could be knocked off the ball easy, but you know, in that second half, like, he put in a good account for himself. Is he better than Son? No fucking chance. No, he's got a lot of years of football to even like be in the same conversation and being in the same
right. But see, this is why, because I'm a very logical person. I mean, you can even ask, like, you know, me and Stefan got in a debate this morning about some dumb stuff, and then me and Elias got into a debate right after that about dumb stuff. I'll just debate dumb stuff because it's just the way my brain works. I'm a very logical person. I cannot wrap my head around the concept of 5 key passes to 4 key passes, 1 goal contributing action to 2 assists, right? 8 shot creating actions to 4 shot creating actions. So Son having 8, Solomon having 4. So when you weigh out the amount of things that they each did, right? Same amount of take-ons, same amount of ground duels won. When the numbers level up, how can you say one was better than the other?
I think it's just the movement, Will. Solomon looked really good today. His movement.
But what about his movement looked better than Son's movement last week?
Well, Sonny seems to get clogged up a lot there on the left. Even though the stats are saying that he's up in the top 3 as a winger. It's just that appearance sake and the fly. There's a lot more to the game than stats, you know.
I mean, is it that, or is it your bias? You know, if you come in with a preconceived notion that Son isn't isn't
Sonny's
on
my
form.
favorite player.
Right? No,
Sonny's
but what
my
I'm saying,
favorite.
if that's fine. It's not a matter of liking or disliking. I'm saying if you come in with a preconceived notion because you watch a lot of YouTube videos, you watch a lot of streams, the Son is not on good form, and so when you watch Son's appearance, like even me, I was very harsh on Manor Solomon today in the live watch along because of my preconceived notions. And when I actually took a look at the stats, the first words out of my mouth were, maybe I'm being a little harsh on him today. Is that not the rational thing to do when the numbers say one thing and your preconceived bias says another?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but like, look at Sonny today. He scored 3 goals, right? He didn't get a lot of touches, really. How many touches?
27
did he get,
touches.
really?
27.
Right.
Yeah, less than Richarlison's had in all 3 games.
It's just, you know, look, like my point is somebody can poke a goal in and get an assist. That's what they did. And the stats will make him look good. And I just think, you know, Son today, his movement, I was watching him, his movement out there, he's trying to create open spaces. And you've got a Madison that's got open range all behind him. I made the comment saying I wish we had Madison last year. The reason I said that, because how many times Kane dropped deep and we got wingers crossing the ball and there's no one in the middle because Kane's in the deep position. I'm just saying Madison would have filled that last year. Kane could have stayed up in the striker's position and we would have been in Europe. Probably.
No, we wouldn't, because who would you have dropped to play Madison? Because let as good as Madison no, hear me out. For as good as Madison is, he ain't tackling back. Like, he'll come back and be a warm body in a place, but he's. Do you know what I'm saying? So which of our 2 midfielders are you dropping for Madison?
Well, last year we were playing a 3-4-3 with only 2 midfielders, right?
Right.
So we're counting on 2 midfielders to do the tackling and most of the work in the middle.
So who are you dropping for Madison?
No, we'll play. Well, I get what you're saying. Yeah, Conte's system.
He's just like, he's not a Conte player. Like, he's just not.
But wouldn't Conte go to a 3-5-2 if he had a Madison?
I don't know.
I mean,
I guess we'll never know.
I mean, you got to play it. If you got Madison, you got to play him. I mean, look, we're not like second in the division right now. If we didn't have Madison right now, it's a fact.
Sure.
I mean, he opens up. I mean, a lot's got to give him to Basuma and the doggy.
We're not second in the league right now if we don't have Basuma. We're not second in the league right now if we don't have a Doji. We're not second in the league right now if we don't have Heung-min Son. We're not second in the league right now if we don't have Romero. You can say that about Van der Ven, Vicario.
Yeah, like, I
mean, it's the whole team.
As a team, we're actually
Poro.
As a team, everyone stepped up. Now,
because we saw what happened on Tuesday when that team got switched out, right? That's further evidence for it being a team game. And to be honest with you, I thought it'd take great leadership, humility from Son today when he said that about too. He spent his entire post-match interview. Apologized for the performance. Fulham's apologized to the fans. Bigged up the entire team. And downplayed his own involvement. You know, he's like, yeah, I scored a hat trick, but it's not about me scoring a hat trick. It's about the team getting 3 points. And you know, I couldn't have scored those goals if it wasn't for Solomon and Pedro Porro. So you know, that's the type of.
I get the point that this 11 starting 11, we all need them, right?
Yeah.
But we're very fragile. If we get an injury.
Oh, it's a steep drop.
Yeah, it's like. And if you had to pick one player not to get an injury, it'd have to be Madison, right? You want Madison out of, you know what I mean? If we lost, say, a doggy, I mean, you know, I don't know why we loaned.
Come on the show if you want to debate this topic. I'm not going to argue it from the chat because it's not only not true, but it's silly. But if you want to debate the topic, you can come on the show and we'll have that debate.
I'll be honest. I wouldn't want to lose Madison. I would not want to lose a Doggy. I would not want to lose Son because Richarlison ain't going to cut it.
No.
The only one, to be fair, and I'm only going on a gut feeling, like that new player we just bought. Is it Brendan Johnson?
Yeah, Brendan Johnson. Yeah.
Right. Maybe if like you could slot him in on the right, or like one of the wingers. Yeah, but we don't know. You know what I mean? But I mean, you would not want to lose either of our two centre. I mean, there's so many players I wouldn't not want to lose. Like, you remove one of our central defenders out of this equation, and we're up shit creek.
Yeah,
because look who's stepping in.
Yeah,
100%. I want to show something real quick to this effect. So this is on the left. You have Manor Solomon's performance today. On the right, you have Son Heung-min's performance against Manchester or Bournemouth, right? So expected goals 0.12 to 0.05, assists 2, obviously assists none here, right? Expected assists about the same, right? 0.02 difference between the two. Number of touches, Manor Solomon only had 37 touches. Son had 53. Son was 33 for 39 out of his passes. Solomon was 20 to 22. Right, so if you continued this to that number, you're going to get about the same percentage, right? Key passes 5 to key passes 4. So Manor Solomon had one more key pass than Son did. You're looking at big chances created 1, big chances created 1, shots blocked, shots blocked, dribble attempts 3 for 2, 5 for 3, right? So one better out of 2 more attempts. Ground duels 1, 7 for 5, 6 out of 4. Right, possession lost 6. Son lost possession lost 11. Right, but he played 30 more minutes than Manor Solomon did today. You got all the other stuff defensively: interceptions, tackles 1 for 2, clearances, interceptions, dribble passed. Right, so the two performances are almost identical. Right, as close as they could be. The only difference was who converted their key passes. Right, so Manor Solomon, without those 2 assists, doesn't have an 8.0 SOFA score because you get 0.3 bonus points for an assist. Each assist is worth is 0.3 on the score. So without you remove those two assists, and his SOFA score drops down to 7.9. So how was Manor Solomon so much better on the left than Son was on the left when they're pretty much identical?
Can I ask you a question? Do you, going forward now, would you rather have Son, they
literally didn't play different roles.
Well, I'm saying, do you want Solomon, Son as a striker, or you want Richarlison?
I'd rather have Son as a striker. That's not the argument that I'm making. I'm debunking the narrative that Son isn't good on the left. That's the narrative that I'm debunking.
That's stupid. That's a stupid argument. That's a stupid
I
argument.
agree.
And I think what Armando is missing, that if Richarlison, right, had finished his meal, I like to say, had any clinical touch, Sonny will have he would have 2 or 3 assists from 100%. Left. But the problem
probably
is
4.
Probably 4 because
he had two creators. He had the one to Adoji where Adoji was one-on-one with the keeper and hit it right at the keeper. You had the same thing from James Madison, and then you had that ball that Son played into Richarlison that he couldn't control and ended up losing possession. And then there was another ball that Son played across the box to Richarlison where he wasn't able to bring it down and it went out for a corner. Right? So that's 4 opportunities where Son finishes all 3 of the chances that he had today. 3 for 3, 3 shots, 3 goals.
So because of that, it looks like, because he actually had the SOFA
that's what I'm saying
last week. Because, like I said, Richarlison couldn't finish the assists that Son gave to him. So now the difference is Solomon, right, got 2 assists, assisted the Son, right? What are the chances of Solomon getting assists if Richarlison is playing striker?
Well, factually, we know it's none.
Probably 0.
No, you're not listening to what I said. Okay, you can still see it. Hold on, you can still see it on the screen. This one here, you can see my mouse moving. It's from Son's left wing performance against Bournemouth. This one, because Son got a 9.2 today, easily man of the match. Manor Solomon, this is his performance from today. So it's apple to Apple. Thank you. Come back later.
Mic drop.
I can't. It's on a stand. I can't drop it.
You got a beer? Drop that.
No, I don't have a beer. I got some men's fragrance, some Aaron Terrence
Yeah, we were playing Burnley today. I mean, we shouldn't be, you know.
I literally explained that when I brought them up. You just weren't listening.
It's like playing Burnley. It's like the first 50, like they scored first. The first 15 minutes, I thought shit. Right? I was like, after Tuesday's performance, I thought, oh no, are we just going to collapse, like an early collapse or something? But you know, they dug in, they proved it wrong, and they looked good in the second half of the first half and the second half. But Burnley's no way, like, you know, like I can't wait till we play Arsenal with this starting 11 we have. That's going to be a good measuring stick to see what we got.
Yeah, I agree. I don't disagree.
I just want to sponsor George quickly. Big up, George. First of all, Burnley is not us. Nottingham is not us in the sense of limited opportunities to win a trophy. Now, our club for the last 4 years, whenever we play a B squad, our B squad has been such a huge drop-off. Such a huge drop-off that it's horrible performances, and we're eliminated from the cup competition. And then the second thing I think the fans are most mad about, the day before, and say that we are going to go for this cup. We are going to win this cup. And then you make 9 changes. 9 changes tells me that no, you're not going for this cup, especially with these players who have failed. So I think that's the reason why that our fans were still upset about it. Now we're over it because we played today, but it's still, the fact remains, now we really have realistically one chance to win a trophy.
Yeah, but I'll never forget Tuesday. I will never forget that.
You know, I'm still fuming about it.
It's all on Ange. He made a mistake. People make mistakes. If he doesn't learn from his lessons, then you can look. I'm okay with people making a mistake as long as they don't make the same mistake twice. Right? That's the motto by I live. It's okay to make mistakes. It's not okay to make the same mistake twice.
Well, we'll see in the FA Cup, right?
But but that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to get upset about it. Like, I'm disappointed. Like, I'm upset that he was naive enough to believe that they would be able to accomplish what he wanted them to accomplish. But I'm not going to be angry at the man until he continually makes the same mistake, right?
Yeah. Yeah, right. In the Premier League, he's killing it. That was it. Let's just hope he doesn't do it in the FA Cup, or you're gonna have a lot of sour fans. Look, you know, we're gonna have a good Premier League, you know, this season, and then we're gonna look forward to next season. The same thing in the cups, because really this League Cup was a really good chance, because you got all the big teams in the Champions League. We could have gone far in this cup.
Same teams in the cup, man.
You know. Yeah,
I mean, there's the same
in the cup,
same Premier League teams in both cups, right?
Yeah, but when it comes to the 4th round, quarterfinals, semis, like they'll be in the meat of the Champions League. So this could have been a real chance for us this season, but
yeah, certain teams that may be stronger, for example, that have less, like if we were to come up against a Chelsea or not a Chelsea because they're not in the Champions League. If we were to come up against, who's in the Champions League? It's Newcastle. Or if we were to come up against Arsenal in the FA Cup, they may have rotated out in the FA or in the EFL Cup because of their Champions League runs. That's true, but Manchester City never does, right? They always play a full squad all the way to the final. They always take that cup competition seriously, more seriously than we do, to be honest. And so and how many times have we played multiple Premier League teams in a cup run anyway? It rarely happens, right? You on average, I think you play 2. It's like 2.3 Premier League teams per per cup
think
run.
Look at Chelsea. They lost 1-0 to Nottingham Forest.
Yeah. Chelsea's in the mud. You know, Scott, he's refusing to come on. He's protesting because he's upset that Pochettino is a failure over at Chelsea right now. And so, you know, he's got this Ange Postecoglou agenda because he's still butthurt about Pochettino going to Chelsea. I think he's taking that one harder than Kane going to Bayern Munich, to be honest with you.
What is going on with Chelsea? I mean, like all the top YouTube pundits and people on Sky were saying they're going to make Champions League with Pochettino. I mean, it's only 4 games in,
they might still do for all we know.
Can I freeze? I gotta fix something in the chat real quick. Okay, look, Butler the GOAT. Nobody cares that you used to be a mod over at Cheese Room. No one cares. Other people, he's not pretending to be a mod. He's saying he was a mod for a different channel, which he may or may not be true. But yeah, we don't need to do that. But yeah.
Yeah, Newcastle lost today too, right?
Newcastle too. They're in the mud, dude. Everybody said like all of these teams who were going to be
the
cream of the crop. Like even Arsenal, dude. Even Arsenal. Like I'm gonna laugh. Tomorrow is going to be such a great day when I watch Arsenal lose to Man United tomorrow. It's going to be fantastic.
You think they will?
Oh, yes, I do.
I
really do. I think they're going to lose 2-1.
Let's take a draw. I mean, come on, we're Tottenham. Like we both hate both teams. Let's get a draw. Yeah.
I actually don't hate Man U.
No, I want Manchester. I don't think Manchester United has won yet this season, have they?
Yes, they won.
Last week.
That controversial game against Wolves.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, VAR.
Yeah, 1-0 against Wolves.
And they came back, actually, last week they were trailing to nothing, to Forest. And they came back 3-2.
But the funnest thing that I've seen, too, and this is the thing that, hold on, we got a guest to bring in, and this one requires special music
and sound effects. She
I know who it is.
Has come to mud all the sun haters, rising from the ashes, dusk till dawn, picking up the Tottenham legend, Son Heung-min. Everybody in the chat, show your love for the one, the only Wrexham fan in the world. C Cubed is in the house.
Sonny.
You changed your avatar. Are you still at your parents' house?
I am. Hopefully my...
You got hiccups. You got internet hiccups. But what's so funny is that you pop in and out on your own. I don't even touch the button. Like, you literally just left and came back and I didn't touch anything. My hands were here the whole time.
That was last night.
That's creepy.
Oh no, am I still doing that? Oh,
You got the hiccups.
am I still doing that?
You're good now.
Oh, okay.
Just keep talking because you're not out for that long. So just keep going. Boom, boom. See, back in. You're good.
I feel bad though. It's just probably very distracting for everyone.
No. As long as you just, space your pauses, talk fast and then break, when you pop out, you're good.
One of the reasons why I didn't do the watch along actually was because I was like, my internet's going to be a pain, especially with the game going on in the background. I was like, it's not going to work. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't do the watch along.
Yeah. You're good.
Of all
nice.
the times for me to it's a hat trick.
Yeah, all the times to get a hat trick is all good, all good. But so the question that I want to ask you guys for tonight's show is, one, do you think Son will continue to play in that 9? It's obvious that he should. I don't think that there's a single Spurs fan on planet Earth right now, except for maybe this one. From the land of Germany, the goat rises. From the city of Munich, the goat gets blown up. From the city of Munich, we eat goat cheese. Everybody in the chat, show your love. Dietrich's Kane.
How are you doing?
He did not score today, you know that.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
biggest fraud has arrived.
Can you guys hear me well before?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well.
Good evening, mate.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So, first of all, I hate watching Bayern Munich and Tuchel. It is one of the... I hate the Bundesliga. It's one of the worst leagues in the world. Second of all, boy, we're so good to watch. I love Romero. I love this guy.
That's what I'm talking
I
about.
love this guy, man.
Yeah.
I think it might be goal of the year. I've never seen a more cleaner strike than the second goal from a center back. Not even a midfielder, a fucking center back.
We had two good goals, Madison and Romero. Two
Yeah.
good goals.
And can I give you guys a fun fact? Do you know that Romero, after 4 games, he has 0 yellow cards?
I know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people said he was rash.
Well,
think
he was.
He's never
unbelievable.
been that rash.
No, he
He's
was.
never gotten that many cards. He's probably had tackles he should have got carded, but I mean, he's never gotten a lot of cards, to be honest.
He was rash at times, but I do think that he's gotten better. Like when he's been under managers, like he was like worse, like under Nuno, and then for example, and then he's
Even
like
though they're
gotten
comfy.
settled. Then he got settled into the groove of things, and I think that, you know, especially when everybody is playing well and he's not having to cover for, you know, shit defenders, I think that he's able to focus on his game and not like, you know, maybe get like nervous about like something going in because he has to like cover for like 3 other players.
I mean, exactly. Did you see it today? He came to tackle, and he knows he's got Van der Ven behind him, so he doesn't have to. You know, he's more controlled. Like, you know what I mean? I think like last year, he was kind of like nervous, but he seems more controlled. He's got a backup now, a partner that he can depend on. So yeah,
I think what people miss, because I like to watch him off the ball when he does those tackles or interceptions. He's actually trying to start a counter attack when he does these tackles, and he was trying so hard to do that last year. But of course, you have Dyer, you have Sanchez, whoever your partners, and then you have Emerson on the other side. And right now, you're seeing what he was at Atalanta. If you look at the scouting reports on him, when we were trying to go after him at Atalanta, they said occasionally could be rash, but for a reason. Because if you watch him at Atalanta, he would do that tackle, you do that interception to start their attack, and that was the same thing he did even with Argentina at Copa America. So I like to talk about the Copa America Romero than the World Cup. He was good at the World Cup. He was better at Copa America Romero, and we can have the Atalanta Copa America Romero. It's nothing but blue skies for our club.
Can I just say honestly, I'm not trying to be like over the top or anything, but at the moment he is the best center back in the league. I'm not even taking the piss. For me, he is. He is better than anyone at City, arguably anyone, and he's better than Saliba. I don't care. He's better than Ruben Diaz. Not even close.
He's playing like it. I mean, he has been put in situations like I said, the Copa America, the World Cup, where he's had to show up, and he has Atalanta. He helped Atalanta get to a Champions League. Atalanta is not your traditional Serie A, power club. I'm not saying you're going overboard. I'm not ready to say, because Ruben Diaz has done, for a whole year, a couple of years with City, and so on. But if like I say, if we could get to Atalanta, Copa America, Ramiro consistently, man, that is good for us. Also good for VDV, and VDV is looking like a young Vertonghen. He's looking like a young Vertonghen, and that's better for us.
But even if you look at the situation, he plays with a center back that has 1 year experience in Bundesliga, plays with two center backs, and you look at City, they play with 3, and one that plays DM. So if you look like he's more exposed, but he still does his job extremely well. He scores goals, he defends, he tackles well, he doesn't pick up silly yellow cards, he does everything the right way at the moment. Maybe it might change.
So far, your point's not super wild. Let's just see at the end of the season. Let's just pump the brakes a bit. But yes, he's playing very well at the moment.
And here's another player we got to talk about, Porro. That he's going to be a star.
Oh my god,
that pass to Sonny was like, that's something you don't see from a defender. I mean, it's just like,
well, even Kevin De Bruyne would not dare to make that pass. That's unbelievable. The weight, the pass, the weight, the accuracy, even the timing of Sonny's run, perfection at its finest.
Yeah, it was perfection. Yeah, I mean, watching on the stream, I was like, whoa, that pass. That was beautiful. I mean, Sonny's like, dude, I'm buying you steak tonight. That was beautiful.
Yeah, it's not like he went over the center back, like he went between the 2 center backs, which is one of the hardest passes to make.
It was
impossible.
I mean, I guarantee you he'll score 5 to 7 goals this Premier League, and he'll have about 5 to 7, probably 7 to 10 assists.
Yeah.
The cat is here. Big up the cat. The cat has come in, skipping church for us, so he can come join Tottenham Hotspur. It's like, forget church. I'm going on THFCRants. Elias is in the house.
Hello, guys. Big up Mari, big up Jason, big up... Who is this new gentleman?
Frank,
big up Frank.
Every time I meet somebody with the name Frank, I immediately want to say Frank the Tank.
Well, I'm big enough. You can call me Frank the Tank.
But, I'm sure it's not from that video, or from that movie, but it was that movie. I can't remember the title of it now, but it had Will Ferrell and old school, and his alter ego was Frank the Tank. Every time he drank, right, and so he stops drinking, then he goes drinking, and then immediately goes on this drunken rampage where he strips down naked and starts streaking down the street. You ever seen that movie?
Yeah,
it's a great movie. Old school.
The wife's driving with her girlfriends.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "I'm just going for a run."
They start chanting, "Frank."
Yeah. And then one of the girlfriends goes, "It's a little cold out tonight."
Yeah. Good movie. Good movie. Good times. Elias, what are you seeing? I know that you're out and about, trying to find all the different muddins for you to wrong. How you doing tonight, and what did you think of the game today?
I'm missing John Fitzpatrick. Where is he, by the way? Where is Harry Jackson? Where is all those people that come in the comments and tell us that, oh, Sun was awful? Where are they? I want to hear them.
No, wait.
You, John Fitzpatrick, where are you?
Elias,
Come
Elias,
outside, Tottenham fans. Where are you?
Elias, wait. With Son, wait. Like, I agree. I love Son. He scored a hat trick.
No, you
But
don't.
no. If he can replicate this against Arsenal and Liverpool, and you
Wait. How many hat tricks did Harry Kane score against Arsenal and Liverpool?
No. I'm not saying score a hat trick. I'm saying
they score a goal.
They can perform in the big games.
Score a goal.
Of course, he'll score a
If he
goal.
could score
I
one
think
goal,
last season it was
sure.
sorry, the previous season it was Son when we went Arsenal away.
I was
He
going to
was
say,
the only one-
statistically, who does perform in big games?
Son has more
Sonny.
goals in the top 6 than any player in Spurs history.
Right?
Yeah, but
Exactly.
we
He
need-
was the one who scored the goals last time when we went Liverpool away and home. He grabbed one goal as well. So what are you talking about, Dietrich?
No, I'm saying like he can take no because now he's the captain. Like, can he lead by example? Not like
So what?
like goals and then score a goal. I want him to do well the whole entire game. I'm tired of losing against Arsenal. That's what I'm trying to say.
You're
I'm not being
tired
harsh on
losing
him.
against Arsenal?
That's what he's saying.
Arsenal against Liverpool. I just want someone to lead by example, and that's
Well,
it's time for Son to shine.
I mean, if we win and he doesn't score, I'm happy too.
As long as he stays,
Yeah.
as long as he stays in that position, I think he'll score those goals, right?
I hope
think,
so. I hope so.
And it's a bit of a shame that he lost 3 games to add to that tally. Could you imagine though if he had? And this is all obviously woulda, coulda, shouldas. But if Son had played up top for the first 3 games, he could be on 6-7 goals right now. League leading scorer while Kane's over there in Munich with 3.
Well,
But I
Will,
still-
the way I saw it was that the hat trick he caught up because we only played 4 games. So 3 goals in 4 games, he's kind of caught up to everyone.
Yeah.
I still love
So-
Son. Like, he scored a hat trick down the middle, but personally for me, I love seeing him on the wing.
Yeah, but this
Like,
is the thing.
that's me.
I
I
hear
love
what you're saying.
seeing him on the wing.
I think he's fine on the wing as well. But but what was different for this hat trick for me is this wasn't a counter-attacking. This wasn't like the Leicester hat trick where it was long
Yeah,
balls in
agreed.
behind. This
100%.
was actual. Other than the first goal from the pass from Porro, it was all backwards and diagonal passes from wingers into him occupying that space, and him taking a shot so quickly that the Burnley defenders couldn't react to it at all.
And I don't think Richie would have the composure to
No.
put that.
No.
We
first
saw
one
it when he
away.
came on because as soon as Richarlison came on for Son, that creativity in the box completely died. It just died. And I'm going to go out on a limb here. And I'm going to say something a little controversial. And I know that we've even lost some regular watchers because of my criticism of Ivan Perisic. If you watch the types of balls that Manor Solomon was playing to Son, he was playing them on the ground into Son's feet. He wasn't playing, crosses into the box. In fact, if I were to look at his stats, I bet he didn't even have a single cross all game. Like an actual cross.
I think he had one.
Yeah,
cross.
zero.
They were good,
Zero
good
crosses.
passes, you can say.
He had 0 crosses. But what he was doing is Son was finding that hole right in between the lines of the Burnley defense, and Manor Solomon was playing those balls on the ground. Perisic, as soon as he came on the pitch, stopped doing that and started lobbing balls into the box. Right? I'm gonna come out on a limb right now and say, if Perisic starts today's game, Son doesn't score that hat trick. 100%, in my opinion. Am I crazy?
No,
I agree. I
it's a fair
agree.
point.
I agree.
I agree.
But what Perisic does, like, we can't blame him because Son is not like. he
But if the
doesn't
striker
score
needs the ball to his feet, why are you lumping it in the box every time?
I agree with you, but when someone has a quality in football, like, why should I stop to like help you if I'm good at crossing the
if your
ball?
quality isn't applicable to the system, right? Because if you look at last season at Celtic and how what's his name, Kyoto or whatever his name is, scored his 30 goals, was all the same thing. Diagonal balls down on the ground, played to his feet. They weren't balls into the box. They weren't headers. There might have been the odd one here and there, but it was Jota and the other winger on the right playing those balls down on the ground to his feet.
Yeah.
and him finishing him off that way.
Yeah,
You know what's
100%.
gonna happen?
100%.
You know what's gonna happen? I can guarantee you, right? In the second half of the season, right? If
Sure, he's a better overall player, but if he needs to be smarter, is what I'm saying.
You know what's gonna happen? If he's true to his word, if Veliz is gonna come in the second half of the season, right? Perisic is gonna come as a substitution, right? They're gonna have Sonny and Veliz up top, and if we're gonna need a goal, but Perisic is gonna job is probably to get into the box of Veliz, whose his strength is headers, to score a goal if we needed to equalize or to take a lead. I could see that happening. Perisic coming in with Veliz.
Or I mean, even Richarlison, I think does better with Richarlison. But we got the man himself, the Super Chat King, Super Chat Master, the man with the slickest name in the comments. The De La Spurs is in the house.
Oh man, big up Will, big up everybody in the panel and the chat tonight, celebrating the win.
Big yourself up, my man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. We got the statement win. I was calling for, almost begging for last night. I think we needed that 4 or 5 goal score just to kind of raise the I guess the spirits almost, or the lift the voodoo off of that Fulham game off everyone's shoulders. So I'm glad it was Son who got the hat trick, captain. I think Romero's goal was really great to see from him. I mean, yeah, it looks like we kind of righted the ship from Tuesday, which is really all I wanted for this game, was to just try to right the ship and continue on. So 3 points. I think we're only 3 points behind first going into the international break, so not too bad.
Just
not
2
too bad.
2 points.
Oh, only 2 points. Well, there you go.
So and the next game is West Ham versus City. So they are both like near us. So one of them would put on. But there you go. John Fitzpatrick is in the chat. John, what are your thoughts on the game? John, are you gonna say Son was awful today? I see you there, John.
John, he already said in the watch along that he was wrong.
Also, you got to remember we came back from a goal down. The old Tottenham. Well, we do come back a lot, but we came back from a goal down from Tuesday's debacle. So they showed character today. You got to give them that. So.
Yeah. But can I just say, I don't know what company was like. Is he high for changing the whole system in the second half? But
did he change the system in the second half?
Yeah, he went at the back.
Yeah, he did.
5 defensive, and going forward there was a 3.
Well, I mean, because they were getting ripped open.
But I think he put the wing backs on to try and pin our wingers back to exploit the space. But it didn't work for him.
He left the middle wide open, though.
First half, they were winning the midfield battle. Second half, after removing one midfielder, he fucked up.
I'm not really concerned about Burnley or what they did. I could really care less. Sitting on 20th and -8 goal differential. I mean, getting battered everywhere they go.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like they've just been getting beat. They've been getting beat bad.
Is it me or is it C-Cube has been coming off and coming on?
It's because she's got the hiccups, the internet hiccups. Just let her be, man. She's good.
Okay.
I mean, Burnley did go after the game. I have to give him credit.
Fraud.
But yeah, I mean, Vincent Kompany Burnley looks way better than Sean Dyche. I have to give him that. They definitely
got more exciting to watch for sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
More exciting to play against when you're the team playing against them too.
Right. That Kalioko guy, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but I mean, he looked like he was looks like he had some bits to him. He was going after everybody when he got the ball to his feet, creating opportunities, space, fouls. But I don't think he not just him was enough. But yeah, I mean, he looked like a decent player for Burnley. I like the way they play, but like you said, I think they're probably going to get relegated. It's too expansive. It's good for Championship, but not enough for the Premier League.
First 15 minutes, they look good. They look really good, and then they just dropped off.
Boy, I can't stand Connor Roberts.
So everybody in the chat, for people that don't know, there's a new person in there that is most likely a well-known troll to all of us, right? Who's stoking goofiness in the chat. Just ignore him, right? When you know a troll, ignore the troll. I mean, I can block him if you guys want me to, but I mean, Scott can block anybody he wants to. He's a mod too. We got a lot of people. Alejandro's a mod. Elias is a mod. Who else is a mod in there?
Me.
Dietrich is a mod.
I think I am also a mod.
Jason's a mod. We got all kinds of people in there. So if he gets rowdy or starts annoying people, just block him, time him out. You know, don't worry about it.
I'm a resident troll. I recognize trolls very well, so beware.
Yeah, game knows game.
Yep.
Game recognizes game.
Will, you know what makes me laugh? You know, Sava's channel. He just loves to fight the trolls. He just he'll pick out a comment that's trolling and he'll stick it up on the screen and fight with them for like 2 minutes.
Who? Me?
No, I'm talking about Sava. You know Sava?
Oh yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I'll bring people out, and I'll mud like stupid comments, but I say it once or twice and I let it go, and if they continue on, I just block them.
But he just continuously loves to fight with people. I can't.
Yeah, that's his style. I mean, I think it's just some people don't even bring him up at all. Somebody completely ignore him. Savas brings up, talks with everybody. You know, everybody's got their pluses and minuses.
I just don't understand it. Just ignore it.
What are you talking about? Will loves to argue with people.
I love to argue with people, but trolls I don't.
One of his favorite things to do is to argue with people.
Yeah, I love to. I love to debate. I don't like to play chess with pigeons, though. It gets annoying.
You played yesterday, Will, and I had a very, very weird argument, by the way.
Yeah, and I was playing chess with a pigeon.
What does that mean, Will?
This morning
was chess like a pigeon. So you got chess, and you got the chessboard, and you got all the pieces, right? So pigeons, they strut, right? So when you're playing chess with a pigeon, what do pigeons do? They crap all over the place. So when you're playing chess with a pigeon, they're walking all over the board, knocking the pieces down, shitting all over the place, and acting like they won the game, right?
Yep.
But they can't play chess because they have the IQ of a pigeon. Their brain's the size of a pea, right? So, you know, I often find myself in debates with pigeons.
Did you make that up, or did you find that somewhere?
I've heard it somewhere. I don't think I've made it up. It's pretty common. But
is it?
I think. Yeah.
All right.
But it fits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Poor pigeons.
And then people like to make fun of me because of my understanding of classical logic. But it's okay.
That's good. So good.
Yeah.
Is it classical logic or neuroscience?
Exactly.
He's a statistician. He knows it all.
I'm not even a statistician. I'm really not. Right? I really, and to be honest with you, I really don't even like looking at stats. I only look at stats in order to
compare,
to limit my what's the word I'm looking for?
Masturbation.
Implicit bias.
To broaden your horizons on.
No, to correct my implicit biases, right? We all have implicit biases as human beings, right? Like, you know, women drivers, or chocolate or vanilla, or ice cream, or different things that we just immediately, without even thinking about it, rationalizing it in our mind, just immediately buy into. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. But see, that's the thing. There can be like stereotypes, I think, are accurate, but they're not accurate in every circumstance. So when you apply a stereotype in every circumstance, that's when it becomes unfair, right? For example, like white men can't jump. That is true, I think, in general, right?
Good movie.
But a great movie. But there are white men who can jump, or like black guys don't have calf muscles, right? Which is true in general, but there are some black guys with ginormous calf muscles.
Oh,
You
yeah.
mean black guys can't play ice hockey? That's the same.
Yeah, for example, yeah. There's some,
Yeah,
there's
Yeah,
some,
but
big,
most
some
of
great
it's
African
true.
American ice hockey.
Americans can't play badminton.
Harder.
Yeah, Americans can't play ping pong or badminton, which is true because we don't care. Yeah.
Black people
Because
can
there's no
swim.
stats in them. There's not enough stats in them. That's why.
Yeah,
There are
there's
a lot
enough
of stats in badminton, I tell you.
Yeah.
But one's true. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be like anywhere. Like, don't take it personally, but most of the time, black people can't swim, and that's a fact.
If
I
you
think
have
that's
to-
a fact. I think it's a coincidence. I think it's based on the region that the most the densest populations of African Americans or Americans that are black are in urban areas where there aren't lakes and creeks and stuff like that, and the only access to swimming pools is usually in community centers that are underfunded and in kind of crappy conditions, right? So I don't think that they can't swim. It's just that they don't learn based on their environment. Whereas, like, if you go where I grew up out in the country where there's lakes and ponds all over the place. I mean, we used to run, do rope swings and jump and, with white people, black people all over the place.
My sister,
a lot of Asian people can't swim either, to be honest with you.
Hired when my nephews were 3 and 4 years old, a swim instructor. But that's a rarity. Like, so it's...
It all depends on your access to
it's
water. Can you swim, Dietrich?
Yeah, like in my religion, like it says you have to know how to swim. Like I don't mean like just like people like swimming like a dog, like actually swimming.
There you go.
Well, when I went to school in London,
and
everybody had to swim.
My family's from the Caribbean.
We don't teach swimming in schools.
You're surrounded by water.
Yeah, if you go to like Jamaica, Haiti, the Caribbean, stuff like that, there's people swimming all over the place. You know what I mean? It's because they live in a more rural environment surrounded by water. You know what I mean? It just depends on.
Obvious.
Yeah,
It's obvious. But I was brought up in London, and everybody part of their physical education had to go to swimming lessons. So
that's cool. We don't get free lessons here. You have to buy.
We don't get lessons too.
You have to buy.
But it is the stereotype that the stereotype that black people can't swim in the United States is accurate to some extent, but it's not accurate because they're black. It's just accurate because of the regions that black people in America tend to live in per capita, right? It's not it has nothing to do with their actual skin color. It just happens to do with the fact that they don't need to know how to swim. It's not a part of their,
I generally think that the black male is the best athlete in the world.
I think that's a stereotype too. I think it's just because they have certain attributes in sports that most people, I think, are the most popular. They tend to have the physical attributes, not all, but per capita, that benefit that particular sport. But there are a lot of sports where they don't, right?
I've lived in America now for 20 years, and we got the NFL, the
basketball,
the NBA.
But you don't see a lot of African Americans in baseball. They're there, but you don't see a lot of them.
But they don't like baseball. That's different.
But hold on, baseball is for a long time, for hundreds of years, has been a major sport in the United States. It's like you'll get one or two guys, Barry Bonds, Bo Jackson, Hank.
But if you look at like history in the U.S., it started like with what's his name, the guy from that played with the Brooklyn, number 42, Jackie Robinson. Like every like black male in the U.S. like look up to him. Then Michael Jordan came. Then they started loving basketball, and then like it went and then the NFL, and then like other sports.
I don't think it's because
like
of idols. I think it's
like,
just because it's easier. It's easier in an inner city to play basketball than it is. Right? There's a basketball hoop attached to bridge pylons, and it's a lot easier to play basketball in urban areas than it is to play baseball. Right? It's like soccer. I'm actually very pleased to see that there's a lot more black kids playing soccer at a young age than there used to be. You know, I mean, when my oldest son first started playing, there was maybe one or two. You'd see one every now and again. But then on my youngest kids team, you know, it's 3 to 4 of the 16 kids are black now, and that's great. I think it's great because I want to start stealing the athletic talent from those other sports.
Basketball.
Because if you could get the athletes, right, the athleticism that is in NFL, NBA, and bring that into soccer in the United States, I think we're gonna absolutely destroy teams.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
England.
Or you will never
England beat
you will
England.
never reach the finals in your lifetime, or
Oh, yeah,
even
we will.
win a World Cup.
Yeah, we will.
In your dreams.
Yeah, we will.
Keep dreaming, my
Not in
friend.
my dreams, man. It's happening.
You
If
think
it
so?
will
I
never
disagree.
happen.
I don't think. Right? There's a high probability that it will happen in my lifetime.
No, it will never happen in your lifetime.
Well, you're about 30, I would say.
I'm actually 42.
All right. Well, you look great.
Thank you.
So let's say the average 76 is the average age where we all kapoof and die. It ain't happening. America's not going to win the World Cup.
I think you'd be
You
surprised. I think you'd be surprised.
I think you'd be very surprised.
Well,
I mean,
look, let
England,
the haters
England
hate.
is coming to the end of their window with Southgate and this whole generation youth of the greatest
Well, you
England
thought we
players they've
just
all
died.
seen. No,
It's
your
just-
window is done. You guys
Look
had
at
your
the last World
opportunity
Cup.
last World Cup. That was the one to win. The one before, that was the one to win. No. That USA game was indicative of England's future. You're about to fall off of one of the English
Yeah,
superpowers as long as Southgate is at the helm. You're gonna keep playing James Henderson and freaking what's his name? Harry Maguire at the back. Yeah. You
Let's
guys are
look at
done.
it.
You guys are
The
done.
only reason
Let's look at the, let's look at the whole picture, right?
Spain's not
Look
gonna
at the
win.
last World Cup. You look at the last World Cup. You've had so many upsets, like Saudi Arabia winning. You have Morocco almost going to the semifinals.
We won
Sooner,
the semifinal.
sooner or later, you're going to have an African team possibly.
That's true.
win.
That's
Germany's
And-
done. Germany is done for.
Like, for example, Brazil has not. This is the longest
It's been like
drought. they've
15
ever
years they haven't won it.
Italy has not made the World Cup the last 2 times. Now that
Haven't
they
even
expanded
qualified.
the tournament, so it's actually a
Cameron.
little bit harder. So the thing is, the world has catch up, but the superpowers, like the traditional superpowers, have kind of come closer back to the pack. So that's why it's not impossible for United States to win, because the United States has improved.
Maurice,
At the same time, the superpowers have decreased. Same thing with women's soccer, right? United States is still a superpower, but the rest of the competition has caught up, you know. And now, because like I said, gone are the days of Germany's automatically going to
African teams are a lot better. Look at Asian teams. You got Japan, Korea are always finishing a lot higher on regular consistently than they did in the past.
Italy can't even get into the World Cup.
Even an Asian team like Japan and South Korea, I mean, they're
making the knockouts year in year, World Cup in and out, and they never used to do that in the day.
Can I just say,
right? 2002 with South Korea making the semifinal was the first time that they had a regular, from that point on, they kicked off a movement in their country where football and the national team was important, and they've continually regularly made it to the round of 16.
The only superpower that I think is gonna win, probably almost every World Cup, is gonna be France. But if you look at Japan, if you look at Japan, for example, Senegal, my country, and other even Argentina, the amount of youngsters they're producing is unbelievable.
Hold on. The reason why France is dominated, I think, especially in the last 15 to 20 years, is not only because of the talent, but it's also because of the immigration that's happened from African nations, French-speaking African nations. That those players have come in. Mbappe, for example, there's a ton. There's a ton of them. Pogba, all of these players that come from immigrant, first-generation families from African. That's what I'm saying. what is the only other country in the world that has even a more prevalent amount of that than France? The United States. Right? So what I'm saying is when those, because I can already tell you right now that even at my son's age, there are kids from Nigeria and Senegal that are coming in and they're bossing it in our youth system. So we have those kids, right, who will eventually end up coming through the system, and if they're born here, end up playing for the United States. But then you also have the athleticism coming from the inner cities and the African American culture. Sorry, I don't like saying African Americans because they're Americans that are black in the United States, coming into the sport as well, right? And then you have the Hispanic population coming in and now choosing the United States over Mexico, which never used to happen in the past. You've got other people from other cultures and races. You got Asian kids in the United States that are doing really well. Chinese, Koreans, Japanese, Indians. To be honest with you, I think you'd be impressed when I go to these games how many from India, Asians there are that are really good players, quality players in the United States.
But you see the problem in like the US and like America in general compared to France. If you go to France and you go to the suburbs, the amount of kids that are just playing football, like developing like a skill, a technique, like controlling the ball, like it's incredible. In the US and like Canada, for example, I don't see these
Canada,
kids,
you guys are dead food, man. We've got more kids playing soccer than you guys have people in Canada, bro.
No, we're dead. It's true, but like I don't see the
Especially
same.
now that your
like,
coach is gone, you won't even qualify next year.
I don't care about Canada.
Oh, you automatically qualify. So that's
but the US, they have to create a system like France. Like
we have a system. That's what I'm saying. But that system isn't even that old, right? You've got France. It's got a population of 67.75 million. We have 350 million plus, getting close to 370 million. It'll be at a 400 million population, within the next 10 to 15 years.
I'd love to see America.
I'm telling you right now, the way that the game is growing in popularity, the way that NFL football is on a decrease, 13% drop in youth involvement in youth football in the United States over the past 3 years. That's just in 3 years, a 13% drop. And it was
football?
Yeah, American football. It was a 3% drop the previous 3 years, now down to 13, a 10% increase in the decline of kids being involved. And youth soccer or football, association football, is growing by 30+% year over year. That's what I'm saying. There is a major shift happening right now in the United States, where you go 2-3 years ago, football, Premier League, MLS was like 4th or 5th most watched, soccer in general being the 4th or 5th most watched sport in the United States to now being second.
Wait, hold on. Well, I think KPV, is he in the back room?
Yes, I think he's in
I don't know. I can't see.
No, he's
No?
not anymore.
Oh, he's been.
But even like my main issue like with US soccer, it's not like in Europe, like you don't have the same coaches, like the same development of kids. It's easier to succeed in Europe compared to the US. US, I think they look more for like
there's more of a network, right? There's more of a network, but also I'm saying that network is getting stronger here in the United States. It's still going to take time. We're out.
Will, can I make a counter argument, Will, on your argument? Is that American football, the women have dominated that scene here in America. Okay, and I think there's a bit of a problem because I've got a couple of kids that, I want to play soccer. It's the girls' game. So I think that you're going to have to break those barriers down because a lot of the boys...
that's the attitude how it was. But that's what I'm saying. Those barriers are being broken. They are changing, right? And you've got popular... So. It's not only that, but it's getting popular. Once it starts to get popular in modern culture, you got guys like I Show Speed, right? These little media influencers who really, that guy knows nothing about soccer whatsoever, but he's made it cool, right? He's made it cool for the 10, 12, 13, 14-year-old boys that are watching him on TikTok and Instagram and all the things that he does, and guys like him are breaking that barrier of soccer not being cool, right? because the cool sport, if you had drip, if you had Riz, if you had all this stuff, was all hip hop culture, which is NFL, NBA, right? Hip hop culture wasn't assigned to soccer, football, but it's changing, right? There's a lot of that.
Like you go to Orlando City game, like everybody's talking about it. You go to it's a process. They go to the pub, they tailgate, and then they go to the game, and you have 3 or 4 or 5 different factions. Then you have a Caribbean support group of Orlando City. Then you have another supporters shield, and they're singing. Like my mates who come from England, they're like, "Wow, this is like hardcore." Like they still question the gameplay because all right, it's not the Premier League or whatsoever or the Championship, but my mates, they're so impressed by the culture, like the fans in stadium. They're like, "Wow, it is more." One of my mates says it's actually more entertaining than the Premier League because in the Premier League, you can't be like you watch the German league. You know, you see all the displays. You watch any other league outside the Premier League. It's almost like you know you're not allowed to bring banners. Like I know for Spurs, it's like very PC, very corporate. But when you go to Orlando City, I used it because I live in Orlando. It's a rock house. It's raucous. Drums are going. Like it's a madhouse. And so you have that in Kansas City, Seattle. It's like embedded in the culture. It is like that's how the game has changed than the earlier football leagues in the 70s with the New York Cosmos. It was more like, all right, people will pay an expensive ticket, they'll bring their family and whatsoever. Now it is the in thing to do is to go to
soccer's cool.
I'll
say this last thing.
Which it used to be back in the 50s, back in the early days, 30s, 40s, 50s. Soccer was actually association football was actually a lot more popular in the United States than baseball or NFL even.
Actually finished third in the World Cup.
We finished third in the World Cup back there in the very first World Cup, I do believe, first or second. And but that's what I'm saying. It was popular then. It was more popular. It all has to do with popularity. Wherever that, right? What's the most popular sport in England besides, and I'm not talking about watch, but it's probably football, right? You got cricket, rugby. What's the most popular sport in the entire world in most countries? Football, right? South Korea, baseball is the most popular. That's why South Koreans don't take soccer as most, but soccer's an easy second for them. Right, you've got countries like China. They care more about badminton, ping pong, those types of sports. Yes, soccer or football is important for them, but it's not popular. That's why they're not good. The amount of people that live in China, if they wanted to pump in resources and make soccer a priority, right, they would dominate most countries. I mean, look how they've done on the women's side. And this is what I'm saying. This comment from here, from John, saying U.S. women's soccer has not been surpassed. No, we've been hearing this all the time. This isn't the first time that the U.S. have lost a World Cup. Because there's been, 10, 12 Women's World Cups, and we've only won 4. So you had they had the Chinese, the Japanese, Netherlands for a while was strong. We go on these wanes because our women are very cocky. And so they get ahead of themselves. Then the federation goes back.
This team was very cocky.
Settles itself again, and we come back and we'll win 2 more. That's what we do. Go look at the dates.
And I heard the manager sucked this year. I heard
the manager was
manager
awful.
Sucked too. The last thing I would say, Will's in Atlanta, right? And Atlanta, along with the new franchise, Charlotte, there are like college football hotbeds. There are football hotbeds, right? Atlanta used to be known as a terrible sports town. It's still sometimes considered that, sometimes because sometimes they don't fill out. Atlanta, their football team, Atlanta FC, gets 60,000 fans consistent.
Yep.
Almost
the same as the Falcons.
And Atlanta is not known as a soccer park. Like United States is not even known for that. But the growth of the game,
in soccer in our region, Atlanta is a hot point. You got Florida, you got Orlando, Tampa, and Miami are the two.
Traditionally, it's not. It's college
traditionally
football.
It's not. Yeah, but in the last 5 to 10 years, it has been. Yeah,
it's always known as oh, it's football area. It's like the Bible Belt. It's football, and how now they have the premier, like they get 60,000 fans to go to football games.
It's like North Carolina. They're good at basketball and soccer. They're not. Nobody ever goes to, UNC or anything like that about college football, right? Nobody talks about North Carolina teams in college football. It's always Alabama, Georgia, Texas.
Michigan,
Notre
Dame,
the northern Middle East, right? That's where those hotbeds are for that. But when it comes to basketball, everybody's talking Duke, UNC, right? Chapel Hill,
California. What's it called?
California.
UCLA.
That's what I'm saying. So, and then when it comes to college soccer, North Carolina, Virginia, South Carolina,
Clemson.
South Carolina, California, right? All those areas, Texas, are all big soccer. St. Louis University and Missouri are all big. There are more Division I schools in the state of North Carolina for NCAA soccer than there is in any other state, which is weird because the state's only got a population of 10 million people.
You guys have to remove that model of college soccer and stuff. You have to take example.
In fact, we don't have it. Hold on, college soccer is actually very weak. If we want soccer to grow and be successful, we actually need to increase. So this is the problem. If my son plays high school soccer, he never gets recruited to go to college. In every other sport in the United States, if you make a senior team, if you're winning a national championship with your high school, you're getting drafted. You're going to college on a full ride scholarship. Here in the United States, in soccer, it doesn't matter if you play. They could actually care less if you even played high school soccer. It's all about what club you play for, what league are you playing for in that club, and et cetera, et cetera. And it's because college soccer is actually a waste of time. It's not looked down. The entire season's played in like 3 months. It's completely not prioritized. That I think that's the thing that actually needs to be improved upon. When soccer becomes the number,
how much growth you would get out?
Oh, it would be a ton. Because kids, when you get the financial responsibility, even if they end up not going pro, if they can get a free college education by being good at soccer, why not? Right? That's what I'm saying is that the NCAA actually needs to invest more money. They need to look at the growth that's happening outside in the normal realm and invest and start putting in prioritizing more time. Because right now, with soccer being the second most watched sport in the country, they need to stop pumping so much money into college basketball or baseball, especially college baseball. Who goes to college baseball games? They need to start pumping that into college soccer. And it needs to be American football in the fall, college soccer in the spring, and those are your two major sports with basketball sitting there in the middle. That needs to be their lineup because nobody's going to watch college baseball games. Nobody. And if you look at the number of Division I scholarships that go out to college baseball players, I'm sorry if you're a baseball player. My cousin is one. Actually, maybe even getting drafted to going into playing for the MLB. He's a really good player out there in California. One of the top kids in his age group in the country. I don't care, right? You can go get recruited for the MLB in some other route, right? This is
exactly
college. If the NCAA wants to grow and wants to be successful financially, they need to be pumping money into American football in the fall, basketball in the winter, and soccer in the spring, and that's how it needs to run. But right now, you've got different conferences. You got Atlanta West. Some play in the spring, some play in the fall. It's a mixed bag, dude, and it completely needs to be, rethought. Because right now, 50% of the scholarships for playing for college Division I soccer go to people from England, Brazil, foreigners. It goes to foreigners.
That's damn foreigners.
Yeah.
I think Pulisic, isn't he a NCAA product?
No,
I can't.
No, not Pulisic.
I thought there was one of the men's teams that came from college.
It's an older person. Pulisic
I
went
think
to
Landon
Germany
Donovan
when he
was.
16.
At
Landon Donovan, Clint Dempsey all were.
Yeah.
But that's how it was back then. It was ODP and college soccer was the deal back then. But
didn't McKinney come from college?
No. He played for Dallas as youth.
Okay.
And went to Germany at like 18.
He was a great player, Clint Dempsey. Remember playing for us?
Yeah.
He's a good player.
Played better for Fulham, but he was good for us too. you can blame Clint Dempsey for having to deal with my ass on this stream, so.
So 2 weeks of no Premier, no Tottenham.
I know it's gonna be bad. It's the first time. I mean, I used to look forward to the international breaks. It's like 2 years. It's 2 weeks without having to deal with Tottenham, and now I'm ready. I'm ready to go. Sheffield United, and then Arsenal. But let's look at the rest of the league real quick. Today's results, and talk about that a little bit because we made some predictions last night with me and Mari on the Friday night show. Yeah, Sheffield United 2-2. I think we had Sheffield beating Everton pretty easily there.
No, we said tie.
We said tie? I don't remember.
Oh, Dietrich, what did I tell you about Brighton? About Brighton.
Yeah, I told you Brighton was going to beat Newcastle. We all said it. We all said it. Me and Mari and
I
don't remember what Elias said. And I called. Did I not call the 1-0 loss to Chelsea against Nottingham Forest or what?
I think I said that. You did call it. You're right. You called that.
Dead on.
No, you didn't.
Stefan called me. Said I was an idiot.
I said it would be a draw. Watch tomorrow. Watch Villa pump Liverpool at Anfield. I'm gonna say it again.
Yeah, we'll predict the last two games again tonight.
No,
But
we said it last time.
Man City, I think I said 3-1. I didn't say 5-1, but I said 3-1.
I said 4-1.
And I said 3-0 for Tottenham. We ended up winning 5-2.
I said we're losing 2-1.
Was in the game in the first half. They were actually in the game in the first half.
Yeah, but it's City, man.
Yeah,
City. I think we even said that last night on or Friday. Yeah, it was last night. Last night on the show, I think we said, like when we were talking about it, I said, yeah, Fulham will be in it for the first half, and then City's going to come in and just pump them in the second half because that's just what City does, dude. City is plays a lot like we do, to be honest with you. Not, and I don't mean that, but I'm talking like in the way they're obviously better than us. But what I'm saying is like they struggle in the first half and then just come smash teams in the second half. Every time that they've got a score line like this, it's always comes in the second half.
Yeah.
Did you see the second goal that Stefan was talking about you? Because I don't think for me it's offside for City.
Yeah, I mean earlier on the watch along. Yeah, I know I didn't watch it, to be honest with you. I went to sleep. I woke up, woke up like 8 o'clock, and then I woke up at like 6:30, scheduled the show, and then went back to sleep for like another hour and a half, and then
City could go unbeaten. What do you think?
No, they never go unbeaten.
We're gonna beat them at home. That's for sure.
Yeah, we'll beat them at home. We're their bogey team for some reason.
I mean, I'm not saying they're going to win every game, but draw. I mean, I can't see them losing. I just can't. With Haaland,
no, they'll lose 1 or 2. Like
they'll lose at least three games, minimum 3.
In fact, they usually lose more than the team that finishes behind them. They just don't draw as many games. They either, they'll lose. They'll have like blips here and there where they get beat by like Brentford or something like that, or
I mean, we've been beating them in the last few years, but this is a whole different system we're playing.
I don't think we haven't not beat them in the last, I think 5 or 6 years.
The cup we lost in the league.
No. I mean, we've beaten them at least once every year for the last 5 to 6 years.
One season we beat them twice in the season.
The year before last, we beat them twice.
Conte's first year. We've been their bogey team, Champions League. We beat them in the Champions League. I mean,
beat them in the Champions League. We beat them.
If we go head to head, like
in cup competitions, not finals, but cup competitions,
we always struggle away, but at home we always beat them. Away we usually lose.
I'm very interested to see how Arsenal do tomorrow because.
Arsenal, TJ's in there. Did you hear me earlier on the watch along? TJ is like,
where are you, Arsenal fans? Where are you? Come outside, Arsenal fans. Where are you?
No, you could tell Arsenal fans are rattled by how much they're trying to break down Spurs and
Not
nitpicking
TJ.
all this
TJ's
stuff
good.
and looking at our stats. It's like, bro, focus on your team, all right? Focus on Man United tomorrow. Don't be coming to us. Oh, well, it's only Burnley.
Not all. But they're happy clappers. But you're right. Like TJ and his crew, they're pretty down to earth and they're pretty, you know, Connor, TJ, and them guys over there. TJ Warren TV. Go subscribe if you haven't subscribed already.
Except when TJ says that Sonny's lost a step, and he compares Sonny to Trossard.
No. I'll be fair.
I'm just teasing you, TJ.
See, he did lose a bit of pace because of his age, but is he still a world-class talent? Yes.
Yeah, but when you go from 30, hold on. When you go from 30, I don't get this either. I've already debunked this myth. By looking at his pace speeds under Pochettino in his first year with Jose Mourinho, right? When he was clocking speeds at 35.2 kilometers per hour. And last year under Conte with a groin hernia, by the way, clocking in at 34.7 kilometers per hour. So he's dropped with a groin injury, carrying a hernia, right? Before he got the surgery, he dropped by 0.4 kilometers per hour, and he's lost pace.
Okay. Would you say Kane is a fast player, yes or no?
No.
Okay, do you know that site that you're talking about? I saw Kane getting clocked at 34 kilometers an hour. And he's not fast. So how can he clock 34 kilometers an hour? And we can see with our own eyes he's not fast.
But you can do it from you can go look at anything. Sonny was making top 10s, right? Under Jose Mourinho, who was the fastest in the front line for Tottenham Hotspur? It was Son Heung-min, right? Just because in that one particular site, Kane, there could have been a point when Kane got up to 34. Right? Yeah,
but
he could have had constipation and it helped him get a little bit of extra, oomph on a day. It doesn't matter. If it happened, it happened.
Or he's trying to score a hat trick.
But you saw it today. The Sun outpacing that back line without a problem today. Beating guys, being 5 yards deeper and then end up in front of them, and they were both running the same direction. Come on now.
When I see it, when I'll see it on the wing, then I'll say, yeah, I'm completely wrong.
It doesn't matter where the wing is or not. We're talking about the actual speed.
Beating your man like with the ball on the wing, then I'll judge.
He has. You do realize he has the second most successful take-ons of any player in the team this season, right? On the wing. Because he had no take-ons today.
And when you try to beat a player like on the wing, you're not like the way you would try to beat a player is you put the ball behind them and then just run past them. So you're still having to run. It's not like, yes, you can dribble past players, but it's way easier to try to make a move to put the ball behind them and try to get around them than versus standing face to face, shoulder to shoulder almost to them parallel and trying to put moves to go around them. Because you're probably not going to be moving with as much momentum. So you try to put the ball into a space to get around the defender. So even if Son is having to take on players, so to speak,
55%.
He's still going to be putting on his speed to get around the guy. He's not just going to try to, nutmeg him or rainbow him over the, he's not going to try to take him on like that. It's just, all right, I'm going to put the ball to the right. I'm going to go around on the left.
You got to look at one of the most successful. You got to look at one of the most successful wingers who never had pace in the entire world, and that's Lionel Messi. Right, he was quick, but he wasn't fast, top speed wise, and he never did tricks. It's always just simple feints. Drop a shoulder, go. Drop a shoulder, go. It's about changing directions of speed. This is what bothers me so much about the eye test merchants when they go on and they rant or rave Neymar. Right? Like, it's like, stop, guys, because he doesn't do anything. I don't care how many rainbow flicks you end up losing the ball with or how many people you nutmeg from the sideline. That stuff is boring. Go watch freestylers if you want to watch that. They have whole competitions on TV with nutmegs and all of this other stuff. Watch those things, man.
I feel attacked for calling me out. I'm merchant, but I don't rate Neymar. I never rated the guy.
You may not rate Neymar, but you are an eye test merchant.
You're
getting better, though. You're an eye test merchant in recovery ever since you joined this panel for the last 2 years.
Hold on. So, TJ, if your defense for your take is that Dietrich agrees with you, really, this fraud over here, that moved to Munich.
Yeah, not a lot of credibility there.
No, the
Not
day
a
you
lot of
fix your
credibility there.
no, wait. The day you fix your
Defending
internet,
Kane's free kicks.
the day you fix your internet, stop having hiccups, then come talk to me, CQ. All right.
Here's another thing. Who would you write? Oh, the rest of the centre backs this year facing us. Who would they rather face, Son or Richie?
But that's not even a question. That's not even a question.
Sorry, Richie. I think the centre backs would prefer Richie.
Yeah, that's why Sonny should be playing the striker role because of, I mean, it's just so obvious. I mean, I'm going to be a little bit downhearted if I see Richie come back in when we play Sheffield United. I just think you know, you got to cut Richie out of it. You know,
I need to change Dietrich's song to this. I need to change it to.
But what's this? Is this the German national anthem or something?
German. I can put the German national anthem. What's the German national anthem? That'd be great.
It goes.
I was gonna say
because that's copyright free.
No, it's like, would they copyright a national anthem?
They can't. It's government.
No, it goes. Yeah, I do it. Yeah.
sounds like the English national anthem, except for it's sung in German.
And we'll have that, and then we'll add these to it, right? Like.
And the goat sound as well.
With the goat, we'll add the goats.
Oh,
I don't know what, but if I say the word,
let's give it a test. Here, ready?
I don't know why, but if I say,
is that your intro from now on?
I feel like I don't know. People are gonna fucking hate if I say it, but it starts with an N, and I feel like that at the moment. I'm not gonna say it on stream because it's a bad word.
Oh yeah.
I'm lost now. I wasn't paying attention. I was too
no.
for all of myself by playing the German national anthem with goats and bombs and stuff.
Yeah, no, I prefer not to say because I'm gonna get in trouble. So yeah.
Okay.
Will loves these toys.
Dietrich, who's a better center back, Kim Min-jae or Romero?
Kim Min-jae had a great.
You're asking the wrong guy again because 2 years ago when he was the guy who was shitting on Kim Min-jae saying he was dog trash.
No, because I have to say Kim Min-jae because he actually you know what?
Because he's wearing a Bayern shirt?
Yeah.
Is that what your eye test is?
No,
he's wearing a Bayern shirt. That's exactly right.
What's that Bayern song? The Mia San Mia. Does it have a song?
And Napoli missed them today because Lazio beat them and it through the middle. So yeah, they're missing Kim Min-jae. They're missing them.
But actually, on the ball, Romero's better. But as a center back, Kim Min-jae, I think it might be better.
Interesting.
Because Kim Min-jae's recovery pace. No, because Kim Min-jae recovery pace is arguably like top 5.
Yeah.
TJ, you're calling me out as a Wrexham fan like that's a bad thing. Wrexham won today. All right.
Big up whatever their mascot is.
Red Dragons.
Big up the Dragons.
Oh, and Mari, the center back of Napoli, the Bosnian center back, he is garbage.
Yeah. No, I was thinking today. I was like, oh man, Kim Min Jae, we're missing them. We're missing them. Yeah, 2-1 loss.
We are one injury away from seeing, you know, a back two.
Eric Dyer.
Did you guys see the links of Sanchez going to Turkey?
I saw it. Yeah, they said they agreed to. They agreed to terms, personal terms, and now they're just working up.
Turkish league has 2 more weeks until they can sign players.
So does I think the Saudi Arabian league has a month or something like that.
Can we sell Dyer to Saudi Arabia maybe?
I'd love to. Dyer. I don't want Sanchez to go right now because we can't bring anyone in.
But we have Ashley Phillips, so I'll take him.
Why is Lloris staying?
Because he's a dick.
Well, there's rumors that we're going to cut his contract up. So
no, Lloris is not a dick. Okay.
No, he is a dick.
No, he's not.
No.
I mean, he has one.
No. What's his name?
Maybe he doesn't.
Dyer is a dick, but Lloris, he was saying at the beginning of the summer that he wanted to go. He's clearly been. Any links
he's a liar,
had was to Lazio, and then the Lazio manager came out and said he didn't want him. So what he did, I mean, they didn't. We're not releasing him. We won't rip up his contract. You know, based off of his age and everything, we should just let him go so that he can actually make an easier move instead of, you know, somebody coming in to buy him.
And Newcastle offered for a backup role. I mean,
look at that! Look how happy Son is.
Yeah,
captain right there.
I'm just mudding weirdos like this guy Chris O'Connor. I don't even know who he is, but he says content creators like you, like yourself, can't enjoy wins because I'm mudding people who are doubting Son. I'm like, no, literally, a win like this is literally making me enjoy it more. Why would you say that? I don't enjoy it. Like,
shush the haters. Shush.
It's so funny.
I have a question, Will. I was watching Sean's walk along in the morning there on the, Sean from Sports Talk Show. And
I know Sean.
He was talking about, about tearing up contracts and things like that. And he said it's a really hard decision to do. He said if you tear up all their contracts, it will cost the Cubs about 50-60 million. Right?
It's going to cost them that if they sit here and we don't tear them up.
Exactly. I was going to say it's going to cost the same if they just sit here. So what would you do? I mean,
but you have to pay all of that up front. That's why he's saying like you have to pay like the 56.
You don't have to pay it up front. You can pay it out in payments.
No, when you rip up a contract, it's all up front.
No, it's not.
What do you guys think?
It's the same thing with managers too. When you sack a manager, you pay them off for years. You don't have to pay them off.
What do you guys?
The second is different.
You just have it's not. It's the exact same thing.
I think for players, you have to pay all of it.
120 million.
What do you guys think of Evan Ferguson being pair to Harry Kane like next summer? Go all out for Evan Ferguson.
No. I say no.
It
looks good for Brighton, but no.
He's playing really good, dude.
He's real good. He scored a hat trick today. He's only 18 years old.
Ivan Toney's cheap.
$120 million. Think about that. $120 million. This guy hasn't even played 30 games for Brighton yet. $120 million.
Like I told you, Dylan Spurs, the market has changed. The market has changed. Someone's gonna pay it. Someone's gonna
pay it. It shouldn't be us. Leave that to somebody else.
It's gonna be Chelsea paying it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, let Chelsea do it so they can.
How many goals he got this season?
He's a talent.
I brought him to my FPL team for next week.
Okay.
By the way,
Maury,
DJ, in your league, I am number 1 right now.
For 120 million, would you take Ferguson or Osimhen for 120 million pounds?
That's the question, right?
For Andrew's system,
it's a great question, Dietrich.
Because me personally, you know,
He doesn't
the
ask him very
that's
often, so
Osimhen.
we might clip the episode.
I haven't seen enough of Ferguson.
I like Osimhen.
Because if you say Van Ferguson, I know you're lying to yourself.
I'd rather buy Matoma. If you're gonna spend that much money, I'd rather get Matoma in. To be honest with you,
Even Matoma, is he worth 80 million pounds?
Yeah,
I don't think
he is.
No, he's not.
Yes, yeah,
he is.
I would.
Do you know?
You know how many goals that dude scored so far in the last year?
Yeah, but Kvaratskhelia has a release clause.
Nah,
on his
bro,
new
the dude has. Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now. Okay, out of all the players that come out of Japan, Matoma right now is the best option.
No.
And I'm really pissed off at Ange Postecoglou for sending him to Brighton in the first place. Bastard.
No, Mitsuma's a good player.
22 years old, right? Or it's 26 years old, and he's rocking so far in the league right now 1 goal, and he's already got how many assists? This bug got 3 assists, and he's completely bossing. You look at the number of like key passes, big chances, you know, all of that stuff, dribbles. You're looking at a guy that will fit this system like a freaking 3.5 key passes per game on average, 3 big chances per game on average he's creating right now.
Yeah, but if you look at the system, it's not the same as
Covered.
the way Brighton plays not the same way as Spurs play. But if you look at Napoli, they play because they play with overlapping fullbacks.
Who would you have? Maynard Solomon playing on the left wing with Son in the middle, or Brendan Johnson or Matoma, bro? Come on.
No, I'm never saying Matoma is a bad player. I'm just saying there's better options than Matoma for the left wing.
I don't think so.
Yeah, the guy from Napoli is better.
Who do you think is better?
Oh, we're not getting
No, but he has a release clause on his new contract that is cheaper than Matoma. That's why I'm saying he's better.
I don't care about the price, bro.
No, but even as a player,
talking about the player.
Rafa Leao.
I think
Rafa Leao.
I think he's still kind of raw. Rafa Leao is still kind of raw, but I think the Premier League would refine his talent. I think coming to this would challenge him to refine his talent.
Yeah,
but I still think in the Italian league he's raw. But I mean, for Matoma, I agree with Will. You drop that 80 million, 15 plus package, and you bring him to Tottenham.
Even Helton made
next
a great
season.
Player. Coman.
7 goals
is a good player.
5 assists last season with 9 big chances created, 1.2 key passes per game.
Says he is not selling, even for 150 mil. He's not selling Osimhen. Napoli actually wants to go for the Champions League. De Laurentiis is like he's not. He said he's not selling both K and Osimhen. Okay. He said that's why all those rumors.
Yeah,
I'm like not happening. He said it on CBS Paramount. He says, I am not selling Osimhen. And De Laurentiis, usually he doesn't lie. Usually, like when he says he's not going to do something, he's not going to do it. That's why I was shocked.
Could you imagine? Right?
Yeah.
Koru Matoma on the left, Brendan Johnson on the right, and Son Heung-min in the middle.
Okay. Guys, no biased. Who do you think is a better
Madison behind them?
Madison
or Martinelli?
Bentancur, Basuma.
That was my point.
I disagree with you.
I didn't say that.
Leao is like
he's a baller. Yeah, I never said that Leao would come over here. We're just talking about great left wingers that we would totally wish we could have. And so, I mean, Leao is a great shout.
Toma can play on the left wing. He could play.
I think Leao is more of like the bomber cut in. I think he's just a big body that can run really fast, so he's strong.
Yeah, but he can
fight players off, and then he can try to cut in a little bit.
What are you talking about? He's got like the most successful take-ons of any player in the league so far this season.
Yes, but I don't think he would like replicate with Ange.
Why?
I think
he would do better with Ange than he does in the De Zerbi system.
I think we really need like a pacey, like 1v1, like dribbler demon like Rafael Leao.
Demon like Matoma. What are you talking about?
No. I think Leao would be like
demons. I would take Leao.
Leao over Matoma any day of the week.
I would drive to
always dreaming.
No.
I would kidnap Leao to bring him to Spurs. Oh,
Actually,
dude,
that's a good comparison.
I'm rocking his jersey now.
No, Leao is now at Inter. I thought he's with AC Milan.
Oh,
No,
he's
AC.
he's with Milan.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
AC Milan, right?
Iggy would not
Matoma
allow
will go. Matoma will
Yeah,
go
that's
to
like
a top 6 team next window, guaranteed. Next summer,
Well,
Matoma will
what
go
about
to a top
January?
6
Yeah,
That's a
Matoma.
good
Champions League
comparison.
team next summer,
What
guaranteed.
What about January, Will?
I don't think he'll
No,
go
no.
in January.
No, 'cause
Unless
Brighton-
somebody has like a big injury or Chelsea just decides they need somebody who can actually score a
Or
goal.
maybe a team that has a striker
Will?
that falls over all the time. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, but we're not
did
gonna drop
did you see
120
Richie-
million pound in the summertime. What is
Did you
Matoma's
see Richie
worth
when he
right
came
now on
on?
transfer market?
He
No,
actually
they-
rolled over and did a 360-degree roll. and the
30
ball
million
wasn't near him.
euro player value.
No. He's worth like at least 100.
Way
No, at
more
least
than
80
that.
million.
Way
At
Brighton
least 80
selling
million.
people. Way more than that. Let's take
That's a
transfer
good
market.
comparison. Martinelli or Matoma?
Matoma.
And no bias.
Matoma.
What do you
no
guys
bias.
think is better?
Matoma, 100%. I think Martinelli had a freak year last season. I don't think he'll get.
No,
I
I'm
don't think
talking
he'll break
about
10
last year.
goals.
No, I'm talking about last year.
Well,
like
last year,
compared-
obviously, he was better because he scored more goals.
So that's I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on Mitoma yet.
Matoma's good, man. He's solid, man.
No,
would-
for 80 mil, for like
Yeah,
100
they got him at
mil, like,
32 million euro too right now. But there's no way Brighton's selling him for 32 million euro.
no.
Do you think Levy just bought Richie because he's Brazil's number 9?
No,
And
because
he
he
just
was.
He's not even Brazil's number 9 though.
Who cares, man?
I mean,
He's
bring
not
in the
even Brazil's
revenue.
number 9. They'd rather go with Jesus. If they have the option to go with Jesus, they will go with Jesus. He is not the number 9.
Well,
He had
last time
2
I saw
goals.
him play, it was.
I think it's Rodrigo. I think it's Rodrigo that plays striker now.
What'd they buy him for anyway?
My point
Yeah,
is,
but-
last year when we bought Richie, was he buying it more for a PR thing, or because I
No,
can't see
'cause-
Levy spending
3
that type
million
of money.
euro they bought him, bro.
No, because what
3
happened?
million
What
euro.
happened? Conte wanted a left winger, right winger, and a backup striker. And Levy, as always, instead of buying for 3 players, he bought 1, and Richarlison was the cheapest option to play in 3
Yes.
positions.
Again,
There you go.
this is you assuming that no other club has shown interest for Son. Maybe it's the fact that they didn't get reported and Son immediately shut it down like he did with the links for Saudi Arabia. Right?
Yeah.
There is many times Klopp has literally gone on record and asked Son to come to Liverpool every single time that we've played them.
Even Pep said he
Can
wanted
you
Son.
imagine Son at Liverpool?
So you can't say that no other
Ooh.
club has shown any interest. Maybe it's just the
Even
fact
Madrid.
that because you go to any Korean website every single summer and there's about 5 or 6 credible comments from Son's old, not the current agent, but his old agent in the Korean press every single summer. Just because you don't read it on British TV doesn't mean that it doesn't happen, right?
Man
on
City wanted to have him at one time.
Bayern Munich has wanted to have him. Real Madrid.
I love Sonny for staying, man. He loves Tottenham. He really does.
Yep, he does.
Yeah, and he's really embracing being the captain. You know, when we scored the goal, and he's scoring the goals, and he's looking at our fans, and he's giving it. You know, he's giving it all. I mean,
I can show you right here.
By the way, Mario, your boy from Boca hasn't been sold.
What boy?
Yeah, his guy from Boca Juniors. I forgot his name. The ginger.
Barco.
Yeah, he hasn't been sold.
Yeah. I think he's gonna end up at City. I think he's gonna end up at City.
Bayern Munich apparently was interested this year on Son Heung-min. The probability of transfer was 85%. Al Nassr. These are all the links. Al Tata, Real Madrid, Chelsea, Paris Saint-Germain, Wolfsburg. right? Before we signed him. So since we've done it, Wolfsburg, PSG, Chelsea, Real Madrid twice, and Bayern Munich.
He signed a new contract. Was it 2 years ago?
Yes,
Yeah.
2 years ago
Under
when
under
Nuno
Nuno.
came.
He's got, I think,
Biggest
he's got
mistake.
2 or 3 years left on his contract.
Biggest mistake.
Why the biggest mistake?
No,
He's
because
captain of the team now. That's an investment. What do you mean?
no, I'm not saying that for. I'm
2
not saying
years
for.
from signing the
We're
contract, he's now
talking about
captain of the team with
I
Posicog
didn't say
at
it's
the
a big
helm,
mistake
playing
for.
pretty good football. So I'd
I
say
didn't.
it's a good decision.
No, not a bad decision for Spurs. Bad
I
decision
mean, he
for
had to
him.
come out the mud, of course, but yeah.
For him, like he deserves a lot better than Spurs. Personal level.
Oh well, I mean, yeah. I think isn't there like I don't want to say rumors or
Dietrich's
articles,
with
but I've heard like his
he's
dad
from the
yells
school
at him
of
for
Kane
staying
leaving
at
for
Spurs.
trophies.
Okay, by the way, guys, I need to jump off for a while. I'll join later.
You have class.
Go for it.
Yep, I have class.
Yeah, but I've heard like I guess like seen like in like tweets and stuff. I guess people
This
talking.
is
I
for
guess it's
people-
rumors, but
sorry,
like his
just-
dad
This
does
is
get
just for
on
people
him for
watching.
like
As
not
soon as
winning
Elias
stuff.
comes
at
back
Spurs.
on, we're gonna end the stream. Next time. As soon as he
What?
comes back on, we're gonna end it. We'll keep going until he joins back, and then the second he joins in, he'll try to talk, and we'll be like, "No, we're done." And
We'll
we'll
be
end the
like,
stream.
good night, everybody. Yeah, good night.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a dick.
I know. That's what Cube always tells me.
That was funny. That'd be really funny. Then he'd be all paranoid all night, thinking, like, did that on purpose, or were they really ending the stream?
Well, obviously, I'm doing it on purpose.
Yeah, I know, but he'd be thinking, like, you know, he'd get paranoid for the night.
Yeah, but it would be, do they not like me anymore? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Not because we don't like you.
Oh, you would stay on though. You would actually stay on. We all say goodbye, but then we were like, surprise. Just kidding.
No, I'd really end the stream. I'd like to end it.
You're gonna end it. Okay.
It wouldn't be a fake one. I'll literally just end it.
How long is each class? How long was that?
I don't know.
It goes on.
We'll stay on for
And
a whole lot longer.
In a nice way, saying he doesn't care.
A Saturday night class. What kind of class
Let's look
would that
at
be?
the rest of the matches, the fixtures from today. I forgot.
Brighton versus Newcastle.
Yeah, what happened? What's going on with Newcastle? Where's old Strasbourg Steve at? Steve, come on, where are you at,
Steve is
Strasbourg
in the
Steve?
mud, man.
Steve,
Well,
Newcastle's in the mud, dude. Where are you at on the table?
But I don't know what is wrong with Tonali. He doesn't look good now.
Especially after Brighton got their butts kicked by West Ham last week to come and
No,
have Newcastle
Tonali is-
lose 3-1, dude. That is
Maybe
Tonali has
Newcastle-
looked great. The issue is with Newcastle is they got rid of all their tech. When they got rid of
Yeah,
what's
Steve
his
is
name?
definitely hiding.
I forgot the dude. The
Maximo?
brother they sold to Saudi Arabia.
No? Say Maximin.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They lost the last bit of like offensive spark. That last bit of spark they had on offense. So now it's just kind of like a straightforward attack. It's the same thing over and over. They're getting found out. So now teams can just play them. And they're physical, yes. So you're going to have to play through their physicality. But if you manage to do it like Brighton did and just pass around them, it's over for them. And they're going to have to go into Europe playing like this.
That's what I was gonna say. And they got the group of death. They play like this before Europe. I couldn't imagine that they play.
Howe's shoulders must be sore. The pressure he's under.
You know what I love the most? You know what I love most about this channel and the way that we do things here? So when you become a member of the channel, after you finish after my face goes away and you get the Tottenham Away logo, I make everybody a mod, right? So when you become a mod, you are now timed out and block proof from other moderators. You're not you block proof from us, obviously, but you or managing mods, but you are block-proof. So when the mods start going after each other in the chat, I just find it hilarious because there's nothing I can do about it. They just go back and forth, start grabbing on each other. It's great. We got Full Bull and Scott M in the chat going after each other.
But the last Spurs, I don't think Tonali and Bruno Guimaraes works. The two together, I don't think it works.
Yeah, the thing is, Tonali's going to want to get forward. He's going to want to get in the box as much as the balance in that midfield is that they all run back. And I mean, Tonali is good at getting back, but the issue is he's going to want to get forward too. So it's like they're gonna have to try to find another balance in that midfield other than just those three players. And I think Eddie Howe was banking on that midfield banging. And like you said, I don't think it's gonna. I think they're good, but I don't think it's the right balance to do what they need to do.
Did I miss his super chat? Did I? I think I did. Not surprised.
And if Isak is not scoring either, this guy needs to score at least what?
Callum Woods.
He has to get at least 20 goals all season, all comps, all season, if they want to even try to compete.
But
this brother needs to kick on too, because I don't know his stats, but I don't think he has that big of a season.
Let me grab a super chat real quick, because it was a long time ago. Anthony, I'm sorry, but it was like almost an hour ago that he put this in there, and I think I missed it. Not surprised if Vicario's done a good job for you guys so far. I watched a few games that he played for Empoli while he was in Serie A, and I could tell he had potential. Yeah, I think for me, Vicario is still he hasn't had to go up against any major strikers or wingers yet. So
he did.
Will is so refreshing that he can pass the ball out the back.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's gotten better though, a lot better than this preseason in the first game of the season against Brentford.
I mean, compared to the Reese, it's night and day.
But we're three games in right now, right? So
he played against Rashford and he did well. Now you're lying.
Yeah, he's made some good saves.
I said top strikers,
Rashford is a top striker, top winger, top / striker.
I don't rate Rashford as a top striker.
He had some really good saves too.
Yeah, he's made
what's
some
the most
good
goals
saves.
Rashford ever had in the season? Like 12, 13?
No, 15. No, more than 15, I think.
I thought he's had like a 20 goal season.
Has he?
Am I wrong about that?
Last year.
Did he score 20 last year?
Yeah.
I like how Vicario celebrates when he saves a good goal.
His top season, he had twice 17 goals. And his average is more than.
How tall is he, Will?
Who? Marcus Rashford, 6'2"? Or Vicario, 6'4", I think.
Because he looks kind of small, but he's not, is he?
No, because he doesn't make himself big.
He's just
like
he got those frames very.
Yeah, his frame is not big.
Makes him look shorter than he is. But yeah, so far so good. So yeah.
How many goals do you have last season? He had 17.
That was another thing. What I mean, I was screaming at the TV like, "Bring Vicario on Tuesday night for the penalty shootout."
And 4. What are you guys talking about? He had 17 last season, and that was it.
Yeah, we said 17.
Yeah, but that's not season over season over season. 11 was the next one.
No, but like at least he had 17 goals.
Yeah, everybody
twice.
has.
For a winger.
What? When did he have 17 goals twice?
Yeah, 1920, I think.
1920? 17, yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
What time is
so he is a top winger. So he is technically a top winger.
10, 11, 17. Yeah. Okay. We'll give him top winger status. Give him top winger. So face 1. But
and Bruno, you can say he's like another second striker.
Yeah, I mean Bruno can score some goals. But yeah, Man United, they have a hard time. This is why I think think Dr. Arsenal is gonna get Manchester United back on their perches.
I hope not.
I'm changing all of the acronyms that everybody associates with Spurs, and I'm putting them on Arsenal. So we got Dr. Arsenal, and then instead of Spursy, it's going to be Goonie.
Did Jason fall asleep?
Huh?
Did Jason fall asleep?
Probably. He's been on for a while and hasn't said nothing in a long time. And it's like 1:30 a.m. for him.
You should just leave the stream on. Just when everyone leaves.
But
so the game's on at 10:30 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow.
Yeah, we got Crystal Palace and Wolves. I've got a Crystal, like right now, I went from 20th in the Tottenham Away FPL League to 4th today. Right, ended up fishing with more points than Scott Amp and Elias. People who are watching on the on that one. I've got Crystal Palace, Aston Villa, and Arsenal players in my squad for tomorrow. So I'm gonna probably hopefully go up another 10 to 15 points. And I may even end up being in first by end of the day on FPL.
Actually, Liverpool, Aston Villa. That'd be a good game too.
Yeah, so hopefully I'm hoping for a Crystal Palace clean sheet. I need Ollie Watkins to score a goal and Bukayo Saka to score a goal for Arsenal.
Are you waking up early to watch the game?
No.
Liverpool?
No, I will not. But I will watch the Arsenal game.
Okay.
The over and under is 3.5 goals, and the Arsenal Man U game. What would you take?
I don't think so. I don't think it's too late. I mean, you may have to go to the bottom of the league. I'm not 100% sure, but let me double check here. Let me sign in over here on this one.
Mari's falling asleep.
Did you sleep, Mari, or what? I'm awake, man, because I slept.
No, I went to the restroom. I
Oh, did you propose? Did you propose or not yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
Fantasy. I'm trying to get the link here to put for people.
I have Villa
Leagues and Cups.
And then I have United winning.
Options. Invite friends.
I think I'll support
Copy the
Arsenal
auto join link
against Man U.
Put it in the chat. I don't know if you join the link now. You can join the league, whether it starts you from 0 points or it includes the points that you've got. I don't know. I don't know how it works, but you can definitely join it. You can join it all season, I do believe, unless they set it up that way to where it's closed. But ours isn't set up as a closed link. But yeah, we've also got in the community page. If you want the link, I know we post so much in our community section that things disappear pretty quick, but we've got that there in the community section of the channel. Yeah. But looking at the league here right now, we can show you Tottenham Away League. And we'll throw this over here in this window so you guys can see it there on stream. Right now, we've got Sloth United. James Cohen right now is in first place, 255 points. Hakuna Matata, William Gordon in second with 254. Ed Jones at 253. Myself, WillStewartTHFCRants in fourth with 250 points. Patrick G, 249. Walking Adoji, 247. Tom Thacker is another person that comes on the channel a lot. A lot of these people I don't even know, dude. So big up to the people I don't know. Kenneth Tottenham Hotspur sitting in 14th. Alexander Steakakoglu, that's a good name. Sitting in 15th. Who else we got? Elias in 23rd. Scott M in 26. Big move up for Scott M today. Out on 83 points. Who else? A lot of these people I don't know your real names, right? So people in the chat, they're YouTube stuff. So yeah.
To the fantasy league thing.
Yeah, fantasy.
I used to do that with the NFL a lot.
Yeah, that's what you get for doubting them, dude. That's what you get for doubting them. And if I didn't bench Madison last week because I thought he was injured, I'd be in first place right now in the league. I would.
How many? I guess Haaland's the everyone picks Haaland.
Always, you know it, baby. Always in my league. Always in my starting 11, son, man. Has been for years.
What would it have been 200 points today with Haaland and Son? Something like that.
I got 84 points today, but I also had 8 points in transfers that got nicked off my score. But show you guys my team here. Son on 20, Haaland on 40, so that's 60 points just from the two of them. I had the Brighton. I would have had 88 points, but see, I got transfers -8, so set on 84 points. I would have had 92 points, but then you got Esteban. He had 6 until Newcastle got that late conciliatory goal. And I still got Anderson, Saka, and Watkins to play. So
good players.
Yeah. So hopefully I'll get some more. Hopefully I'll get some more points. Hopefully we'll get some more points.
Did the girl go?
Cubed? Yeah, she's in the chat. She was having internet problems. Chris O'Connor, he likes to say excuses, like all the excuses you get. Like, remember, this is the guy on Twitter who said that I can't be happy today because we won. And I'm literally am happy because we won, and mudding people who doubted Conte or down to Son. And his excuses they've made for Conte. I don't. This is my reply. I love Twitter so much sometimes. I guess X is what's calling out. They've removed every aspect of tweets. Like even retweets now are considered like what reposts. Tweets are considered posts. Don't make excuses.
Elon Musk, man, he's changed.
He's changed everything. I don't make excuses. I just state facts.
$8 for a verified tick.
Yeah, but you get so much. Like, I don't do it because of the tick. I could care less about the tick. I do it because I can write as long a post as I want. And that's why I always hated Twitter and didn't like posting it.
Right.
Because you can only do like stuff.
Right.
Well, Still's not here. I'm Will, but that's still what formation on FPL makes the most points. I either do 3-5-2 or 3-4-3. Just depends on who's playing and what the fixtures are.
I think 3-4-3 only like top like really quality.
Yeah, but right now the players, it's actually very affordable. Like I've got in my team for next week, I did a wild card for next week. It's not always the case. I saw one guy in FPL who had Haaland, Alvarez, and Ferguson in their front three. Can you imagine that?
Wow.
Yeah. That's dreamy.
He's on like 140 or 135 points or something like that. Ferguson, Alvarez, and Haaland all in his front line, captain Haaland. I copied him. That's who I got in my front three for next week. Because I'm going to tell you right now, that's the way that Brighton's playing, the way Ferguson's playing. He's in the top 4, top 5 of points gained this season. He's on, 4 goals right now this season. And
that's my favorite formation, Alexandro, 3-5-2.
Yeah, 3-5-2 is good. Yeah, tell me about it. I don't know if anybody triple captain Holland, somebody triple captain Kurt Zuma the other day. But I can't remember what the first place dude did.
I'm pretty sure Conte played the 3-5-2 5 times last season. 1-3, lost 1, draw.
This guy
1.
triple captain Holland today. That's amazing. Zuma, Madison, Son. Look at this team, bro. The luck. Bowen and Buemo. Romero. He only X'd out on Gavardiol and Thiago Silva. Look at this. 60, triple captain. 14 on Alvarez. 20 on Son. And Buemo had a good game today. Bowen has scored a lot this season. 7 on Madison. Zuma, Romero, Thiago Silva, and Gavardiol.
Lots of 4-4-2 in fantasy.
How many points has Zuma been getting past couple weeks? Okay, yeah, so this past week was the only week where he had like a good point draw. I was thinking, should I bring in Kurt Zuma myself? But yeah, man, that's insane. 60, 14, 27, 7, 8, 7, 11, 2.
Do you ever play the money fantasy, Will?
I don't know. I don't know what that is, to be honest with you.
Okay. I get that. I get it.
Yeah, I'm on 84 minus 8, so 92 total. And I got 3 players left to play. So I've had a pretty good week too.
And you got tomorrow.
Yeah, I pretty much captain Holland every week unless they play a team with a good defensive record. And then I'll maybe like say if Son's playing Sheffield United and Holland's playing Arsenal, I'm not going to captain Holland, right? I would captain Son. But yeah. And I still got 2.3. All the big point hitters so far this season are I always save my triple captain for double game weeks. Because then you can get double the triple. You know, using your triple captains or your bench boosts on weeks that aren't double game weeks is kind of a waste. Right? All the big time FPL guys. You know, if you win FPL, that's a pretty good prize, bro. You get to watch 2 Premier League games for free. They play for your hotel and your air ticket. They also, I think there's even a cash prize. It's a pretty big deal to win FPL, man. If you win it. But that's I'm way off that. Like for me, I am in the whole thing, I'm like millions. Where's the overall? 400K? Not too bad. Dude, I had a huge jump today. Look at that. I went from 1.3 million to the top 500K just today. That's insanity, bro. Insanity. What a move that I got today. Big up. Vice captain doesn't really matter unless, you know, Holland doesn't start for some reason. I always just pick the next best striker with the next best fixture. But I moved almost 1 million places today. That's insane. It's a good haul today, bro. It's a big green arrow. Big green arrow today.
Yeah.
But I should have had I did swap out. I had a Doji in, but I've actually switched him to Pedro Porro. I might put a Doji back in because I think a Doji is a locked-in starter. I don't see anybody else coming in for him, whereas Pedro Porro may get rotated out for Emerson. So that could be dangerous, but a Doji scored more, or Porro scored more points than a Doji.
Yeah.
Because I think Porro's got, what, 2 goals a goal and an assist?
Porro's got a good eye for goal. He does. Last season, I saw him score a goal. It was a classic kind of old time kind of goal.
That's it.
All right, guys, I'm out. I'm struggling.
Yeah, I think we're going to end it up here, too. We're going to go in 2 hours and 40 minutes. What is today? Saturday? Anything going on tomorrow, Mari? I don't think so. AFTV and chill after they lose to Manchester United.
Pretty much.
That's about it. But we'll be back for the Monday night podcast. I don't know who's going to be on there. But
you're not giving a quick prediction for Manu?
Go for it.
No, you go first.
Me?
Second. Yeah.
Arsenal, Man United. Well, now that Partey is injured, I'm going to stick with my 2-1 loss to Manchester United.
I'm going 2-2.
2-1 United.
2-1 who?
United.
There you go.
1-0 United.
1-0 United. Daily Spurs, if you're still awake.
Liverpool beats Aston Villa 2-1. And Palace and Wolves 1-1.
I hope Villa beats Liverpool.
I do too. Anytime you can get a big team to take it.
So Joanna's Tonelli, Will Stewart, do you think Spurs will make top 4? Well, let's do that real quick.
Top 5, 5th. For me.
Anybody know how to spell Postecoglou? Ange Postecoglou.
Posce something.
I don't know. It'll Google will fix it for me. Ange Postecoglou.
Gotta get a nickname for him.
Stats. I just call him Big Ange.
Big Ange.
Okay, so looking here. 2.5 points per game now, but it's not enough sample size. I want to look at his whole career here. So Celtic 2.31, 1.6. So let's average these ones together. And we'll get a good prediction on what you would say a mathematical possibility. Excel. You can do a book. That's not what I wanted to do. Copy. Control paste. Why did I do it all in one cell? I want to do it in individual cells.
Go. Anyway, I'm gonna catch you later, Will. Thanks for having me on.
Control Shift V is how you do that for people that don't know.
Take care, man.
Take care. Thanks, man.
So we're looking at average points per game of 1.83. So 1.83 equals 1.83 times 38. 69.5 poor probably would be a good mathematical baseline. 69 points. Looking at the table from last season. Let's see. Tables. $69 points would have put us 5th. So right now, I think that the good mathematical position would be right about 70 points, I think. So 5th right now. If we continue the form, if he can bring his average up to close to a Celtic average, for example, if we pull a Celtics PPG, then that's what, 2.31 shift times, I always forget to do equals, 2.31 times. Why do I keep putting a comma in there?
I guess I'm going to sleep. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Take care, my friend.
Times. I'm gonna be on here by myself in a second then. That's okay because I'm gonna leave. 87.78. This plus this. Divided by 2. Oh, that didn't work. Equals this. 78.66 points on the high end. So between 69 and 78 points would be my thing. So between third and fifth, I think is a safe bet. What do you think, Dale Spurs?
I say we're still. I say we still have a outside chance of top 6. I'd be happy if we got top 6 this season.
Yeah, and that's based on last year's table, right? The points could be higher this year. They could be lower this year. It doesn't matter. But I would say the Spurs would finish between 69 and 78 points.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be our. I think that'll be our range there.
Do you think we would need to buy in January?
Yeah, I think we've got 2 more players in January. To be honest with you, over the past couple of years, our January windows have actually been better as far as like impact to the starting 11 than the summer windows, to be honest with you. But,
yeah, you know what pieces you want to add on, try to strengthen.
Yeah, so when I make predictions, this is how I do it on. I don't do it based off of my feelings. I do it based off the math. And if the math doesn't work, if it's a statistical anomaly, then it's a statistical anomaly like it was with Conte last year. Like my prediction of 86 points was just based off of Conte's PPG in the first season spread across the second season. Who would have thought that we would have dropped off as bad as we did? But we were 4th up until he got the sack, so.
Yeah, he kept us in top 4.
It is what it is. I think we're going to end it off here, my man. Anything you'd like to say before we shut her down?
Yeah, man. Just another just about the win today. Good win. I'm glad. Like I said, we were able to get 4 or 5 goals, a statement win, hat trick for Son. Going into the international break, I just want to. I hope we can continue the form. Really, we play. You said Sheffield next, right?
Yep, Sheffield United after the international break, but we have a problem of not doing well after international breaks over.
Yeah. So I just hope that we can carry the good form. We technically haven't lost yet, so undefeated. So I hope we can continue. Go into Arsenal undefeated, and if Arsenal lose, that could be a psychological edge, so to speak. Because
we were on the same. By the way, last season, we were on the same number of points.
Yeah. So I mean, if they lose, and then if we win against Sheffield United, we'd be above them in points. So yeah, I think there would definitely be the edge that Arsenal feels like they got to come out and win the game. So it'll be fun to see. I'm definitely excited to see what Ange football versus Arteta looks like.
Yeah, but last year after game week 4, we were at a goal differential of 6. We were on 10 points, and Man City, Brighton, Tottenham were all tied on points. This season we are goal differential 7. So 1 more goal than last season and the same points. Same results too. 3 wins, 1 draw.
There you go. So we didn't drop off.
No.
So
No, I didn't. That's it, folks. We'll be back Monday Night Podcast. Thanks for everybody who watched the show, everybody who came on the show, all of our super chatters. Again, sorry to Anthony because I was a little slow to bring his in, and David, all that good stuff. Big up all of the channel members and moderators who keep the chat violent, and we will see you guys on Monday for the Monday Night Podcast. Stay strong. Stay Spurs, and we'll see you guys next time. We're out of here.